Pink brony bro. What's going on, everybody? It is the Michael Garza Show with your host, Michael Garza. 4-3. It's good to see you guys. We're now officially, and I mean it when I say officially, we got Eric Von Eric, the real Pink brony bro, Eric Von Eric. 4-3. We're now 280 subscribers away. 280 subs away. Can you believe it? We're currently sitting pretty at 9,720 subscribers. Once again, 9,720 subs. Can you believe it? Laugh out loud. We did it, dude. We're effing doing it, bro. We're Pink brony bros. And we dance at the gay clubs. Oh my God. We're just having fun. Give me 1 second, everybody. You're a pink brony bro. No, unpin. Hold on. Unpin message. And then toggle pin. And you dance at the gay clubs. Oh my God, I'm just having fun on the stage in my hooves. I'm wearing a man thong. All right, let's get the poll started, dude. Get this party started on a Saturday night. Everybody's waiting for me to arrive. What's going on, everybody? Give me one more moment. Oh, shit. Shock block. Republicans thwart Democrats as Iran powers clash intensifies. Let's take a look here.
Israel is agreeing to begin negotiations with Lebanon as soon as possible. That's according to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It says the focus remains on disarming Hezbollah.
Okay.
Talks expected to take place in Washington. Iranian officials are now threatening to end the ceasefire with the U.S. over Hezbollah not being included in a truce deal, which the United States says was never part of the deal to begin with. The vice president is set to lead the U.S. negotiating team in Pakistan tomorrow for peace talks with Iranian leadership, along with Steve Witkoff,
That's tight.
Jared Kushner. Meanwhile, the Department of Homeland Security remains closed. It is day 56. House Republicans blocking a Democratic effort to limit American military action in Iran during a pro forma session.
Dude, the Democrats don't realize how important this war is, because we got to make sure that the Iranian regime is completely eliminated. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. That's all we need to know.
That happened yesterday. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says that Democrats are in active conversations with Republicans to get the vote.
Hold on, what the hell?
Needed to pass an Iran war powers resolution. Listen to what he says.
We're in active conversations with Republicans to secure an additional handful of...
Hakeem Jeffries is a total moron, by the way. We cannot. We need to finish this. We need to finish this. It pretty much is already finished, but we got to get rid of the Asshole Ayatollah's son if he's even still alive. But look, Iran blows. Iran's government blows. Iran's government is terrible. They publicly executed, they publicly execute their own citizens. Like, I don't understand. The Democrats seem to be far more on board with the Iranian regime than anybody. I don't understand it. The Democrats are extremely unpopular. Now, don't get me wrong. The Republican Party is pretty unpopular too right now. But the Democrat Party is even more unpopular than the Republican Party. Shockingly. Not really shockingly at all. Oh, shit.
Frog Eat Frog says, I try to say goodbye and I chalk etchery to walk away and I stumble though I try to hide it. It's clear my world crumbles when you are not near.
I try to say goodbye and I choke. Hey, I try to walk away and I stumble. Though I try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not near. Oh, thank you, Frog Eat Frog. Getting a little Macy grapes. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I needed some sexy lyrics. I try to say goodbye and I choke. Try to walk away and I stumble. All right, here we go.
Our Republican colleagues, which is all we will need.
Flint Eastwood. I couldn't find Iran on the map. Well, I could find your fat ass on one.
To join House Democrats in stopping this reckless war of choice.
Now I could find your ass on one. You're about as lot. Jesus Christ.
Prepared to force another vote upon our return to the House of
Dude, Macy Grapes! Oh.
Macy Grapes says, love that song.
Try to walk away and I stumble. Although I try to hide it, it's clear.
Representatives, and for it to be successful, we only need a handful of Republicans, like Mike Lawler, Nicole Malliotakis, or others, to join House Democrats so we can end the madness now.
Hey, cheers, everybody.
We reached out to both Congresswomen.
If you guys think that Hakeem Jeffries is a total chud, make sure that you guys tap the subscribe button. Also, double tap the screen if you think that Trump is the man. Let's keep going.
Nicole Malliotakis and Congressman Lawler for comment. We've not heard back yet from them. I want to bring in South Carolina Congressman Russell Fry. Congressman, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says the upper chamber is going to take up that measure next week when they get back from recess. What do you make of that? And also the fact that he went in front of a microphone and named two of...
Dude, Trump's the man, dude. Trump is the GOAT. Hey, you know what? You're welcome, man. Trump's the man, dude. He helped. Honestly, Trump has helped Iran in more ways than one. And the Iranian people are happy about it, man. The Iranian people are actually happy because the Asshole Ayatollah is no longer in control. His son, supposedly his son, is in control, even if he's even alive. Look, Iran's government is terrible. They publicly execute their own citizens. They do terrible things. If you are siding with the government of Iran in this conflict and you live in America, I hope you pack up your things and just decide to leave because you clearly aren't American. You should know without a shadow of a doubt that Iran's government is evil. The number one state sponsor of terror, publicly executes their own citizens, was pretty close to getting their uranium enriched to weapons grade levels. Hello. Yeah, I love Trump, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Trump's the man. I think he's the greatest. I think he's the greatest president of all time. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't even care what that makes me look like. Trump is the man. Trump is the... You side with Iran? I love how you say free speech, punk. Yeah, you should live in Iran. They would love it. They would love you there. Yeah, go live in Iran, dude. Give me one more second, you guys. But yeah, if you guys can, though, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We are officially 280 subscribers away. 280 subs away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. You heard me there. We're 280 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subs. 10K subs. We're almost there, baby. Mwah. I could taste it.
Of your colleagues, Republican colleagues, who he says he's trying to get over to his side on this resolution. What do you make of that?
I think the founders were genius that they have one commander-in-chief and not 535. I mean, so Congress right now certainly has an obligation in some ways to assist in matters of international importance.
Yeah, this just does matter, man. This matters. I mean, this is a big deal, you guys. Trump is making the right moves. If you guys think that Trump isn't making the right moves, that's totally fine. That's on you. But I'm a Trump fan, all right? I'm not afraid to admit it. Some people would be embarrassed, but that means they're just pussies. They're not really... If you're truly MAGA, you're not ashamed to love Donald Trump. You're not ashamed to be a Donald Trump fan. I'm a Donald Trump fan, and I am unapologetic about it, too. I am extremely unapologetic about my love of Trump, dude. I think he's a great president. I think he's the man. I think he's great. I don't think he's as bad as the leftists claim he is. I think the leftists, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I think the leftists got a lot of daddy issues that they got to work out. The left has a lot of daddy issues they got to work out, man. And I think that's one of the reasons why the left has such bad policies, because people with daddy issues, extreme daddy issues, tend to be leftist, and they tend to not have the ability to make good decisions. So tell me, why do you love Iran so much? Tell me why you love Iran. Are you a feminist? It's okay if you're a feminist, but I don't understand why feminists love Iran. Iran, honestly, the Middle Eastern countries treat women terribly. You do realize that, right? Middle Eastern countries tend to treat women the worst. I hope you're aware of that. I really do. And I try to walk away and I stumble, though I try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not near. I try to say goodbye and I choke. Try to walk away and I stumble.
To micromanage the president with 535 CEOs of the country doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense to the American people. President Trump has always said from the very beginning, this is a limited incursion. We're going to go in there and take care of business and fix things.
Taking care of business. Fox Business every day. Taking care of business. I'm a shill. I kind of like Fox Business, but I oddly enough, I actually prefer CNBC. I like to watch Cramer so I know what not to do. Because whatever Jim Cramer tells me to do, I just tend to do the opposite. Because Jim Cramer's a freaking chud. Honestly, it's not hard to make money in the stock market. I know people think, oh. But yeah, honestly, I buy the dip on small cap ETFs for the small cap US and small cap international. It's the way to go, in my opinion. Did the markets crash? See, I'm waiting for the markets to crash. I want the markets to crash hard. because if the markets crash, it's a dip buying opportunity because I've already trickle sold on the way up. And now I want to trickle buy on the way down. And though I try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not near. I try to say goodbye and I choke. Hey.
We don't need Congress right now micromanaging a war that the president or a conflict that the president is trying to engage in. And so,
yeah, and that's the thing. All the Democrats know how to do is micromanage, and that's why they fail every time. You know what? The Democrats remind me of the company that I worked for called T-Tech. They micromanaged. They make everything more difficult than it needs to be. They overcomplicate things, and it's a bunch of Karens. So, yeah. Small Wiener Gang. Hey, thank you, Kevin Ryan. Everybody give a shout out to Kevin Ryan for subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. I'm going to put your name back up on the board real quick. Small Wiener Gang. Everybody, shout out to Kevin Ryan. Thank you for subscribing, my pink brony bro. We all dance at the gay clubs. Oh, my God. We're just having fun on the stage in our hooves. I'm wearing a man thong.
Democrats are just playing politics once again. They once said that Iran having a nuclear weapon was unpalatable, and now because they just hate President Trump so much, they're just hell-bent on trying to undermine him at every turn, and this is the latest example.
Well, and it seems like it's a difficult road for them, just considering that on the Senate side, that Senator Fetterman has been clear and public in saying that he does not support any type of resolution like that. Let's talk about funding.
Look, here's the thing. I think that you can't. There are some times that you can make a deal with the devil. Honestly, it's not a good idea. I think when you're trying to make some sort of ceasefire deal with Iran, it's going to end in fire because Iran always finds a way to mess things up because they're like the drunk guy at the party. Iran's government is the belligerent drunk guy at the party who's messing things up for everybody else. He's taking an upper decker in the toilet. He's spiking the punch, right? That's the way I view Iran. That is the way I view Iran's government. I think they're toxic. I don't think they can be trusted. I really do not believe the Iranian government can be trusted in any way, shape, or form. Trump, do not be fooled by these guys. Do not be fooled by these guys, okay? Iran is toxic. Iran is completely mother-effing toxic. Get out of there, bro.
For DHS, because Senate Republican Whip John Barrasso and Senate Budget Committee Chair Lindsey Graham are set to meet with the president today to discuss funding immigration enforcement within DHS, using only Republican votes. This is part of this two-step strategy to end the shutdown without...
Oh, if you guys can, double tap the screen if you love Trump. Also double tap the screen if you want J.D. Vance to be the president in 2028. Let's go. I think J.D. Vance is going to win. If you guys think that J.D. Vance is going to win in 2028, double tap the screen. If you guys love the Michael Garza show, double tap the screen, baby.
Agreeing to the Democrats' demands on immigration
Double tap
policy.
it, man.
Now,
Double
Maria
tap
spoke
it.
with White House National
Don't tap
Economic
it with
Council
your
Director
tit.
Kevin Hassett on the program yesterday about the reconciliation bill. Listen to what he told her.
We've made it clear about the things that we want to fund, and we have an avenue.
This guy looks a little zesty. I like it.
To
I
get
love zesty-looking men.
that done, and we're pursuing it aggressively. And we've got a lot of allies on the Hill, so I expect it will be done, and hopefully before June.
When you say you've made it clear in terms of the priorities, you're saying fund DHS, right? Or is
That's
it
right.
the defense money? Or
They got to fund DHS, dude. Are you kidding me? The Democrats have been holding everyone back. The Democrats have not been trying to pass any resolution to get funding back in the government. They want to try to stifle the Iran war effort. By the way, it's not much of a war, and it's pretty much already done. The Democrats are total losers. The Democrat Party is the party of the loser. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Republican Party, but I would choose the Republican Party any day over the Democrat Party. If you give me a choice between the two, I'm choosing Republican. There's no way in hell. If you have Democrat attached to your name, I'm not voting for you. Period. End of story. If you have Democrat even remotely attached to your fucking name, I am in no way, shape, or form voting for you. Period. That's just the case. I will not vote for you.
Is it the Save America Act? What specifically?
The specifics are still being negotiated, but the bottom line is that the president has priorities, and he'd like to see them funded, and obviously Homeland Security is a top priority. We believe we can do with reconciliation.
And do you want to see 2 reconciliation bills?
You know, I am a tax economist. I'd love to have one every minute of every day. But, you know, there is the option to do a second one in the fall, and I'm sure that, you know, we'll look very carefully at what we could do with that one and perhaps have a bigger reconciliation bill.
Okay, so
Oh, shit, we got somebody saying this. Hold on.
Cakesold says, Garza, don't you consider maybe calling Billy?
Nah, Billy's not worth my time, dude. That guy's not worth my... You want to know why Billy's not worth my time? I don't want to be friends with him. I don't want to be friends with Billy, dude. Hell no. Honestly, he's emotionally manipulative. He's very manipulative, actually. He uses gaslighting techniques. I hate it. He really is a piece of garbage. Oh, thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate
Lauren
it.
Harrington 2484 says, subscribe, share, support, and tap likes button.
Thank you. I
Keep this
appreciate
guy
it.
alive. Free speech Vietnam vet U.S. Navy intelligence.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, what up, E.T.? I got my boy E.T.
ETRN7CH says, what's up, guards?
But no, Billy pisses me off, man. He was not being nice to me at all. Constantly just... he would constantly bring up politics, and then he would basically accuse me of being a shitty person for not agreeing with him politically. And look, and then what's funny is he actually kind of gaslit me a little bit in saying that I basically bring up politics. No, I don't. The irony is he brings it up first, and then if he expects an answer out of me and I don't give him the answer that he likes, he then plays the victim and then starts emotionally manipulating me. I hate it. I don't want to ever talk to him again. I mean it when I say this. He is a toxic individual. I refuse to talk to that toxic piece of shit. All right? Now, I appreciate you wanting me to talk to him, but I don't want to talk to Billy. I don't want to be friends with him ever again. It's not even about his politics. I always accepted him for being a communist. I never once personally attacked him for being a communist. Never once. Well, now I am. Now I am, because he personally attacked me several fucking times. He went on my show. He sent me vile text messages. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. And honestly, I am very, very satisfied with my decision. I was depressed, I'll admit it, when I had to block him on text messages, because it felt more final. But it was necessary because he was being a total piece of shit to me. All I ask is don't be a piece of shit to me. That's all I ask. And he was being a piece of crap to me, man. And so I blocked him out of my life. I told him I never want to talk to him again. I do not. He's not worth it, ever. But yeah, I cut him out of my life completely. Other people have done it too. And I was foolish not to see the writing on the wall, but I wanted to give him a chance. And I gave him a lot of chances. I gave him a lot of chances. I gave him so many fucking chances. And I just can't do it anymore. If you're going to keep personally attacking me because of the decisions I've made, in my life, which have been very good decisions, by the way, then you just don't like successful people.
I had Congressman Michael Rulli with me last hour. Listen to what he said about this entire process and where he is right now. And I want to get your reaction after.
I definitely would like to see 2 reconciliations. I think one right now in the fall would be great. The temperature that I'm hearing, and I've talked to a lot of the members, is that we're going to get this done this week. Tuesday, we're going to hit the ground running. We will definitely fund DHS. We have to really put our heads together. We have to do the hard work, go through all the details and see how that looks. If we could get it done by the end of the week, I think we could get everything open. Reconciliation is going to happen now.
What do you specifically mean by get it done? What does that look like?
Get it done,
Well,
son.
I think it looks like that when you look at the funding and especially, the ICE part of it, I think that's where the Democrats are really hung up at. How the pots of money are going to line up is where the dirty work's going to be. I know Speaker Johnson's working on that right now. We have to try to get it to the point where the Senate is going to go along with us and we can have a final product.
Congressman, your reaction to that?
Well, I would similarly, I'd love 2 reconciliation bills. I think voters want change. They want us to be robust and bold. As far as the DHS, I think the House has been very consistent and clear from the beginning. We're not going to limit the Department of Homeland Security. We want ICE enforcement. We want CBP operations to continue. We want them to accelerate. We want these agencies to do their job. That's the president's top priority, or one of them, and that's certainly House Republicans. And so this, it's unfortunate that we're even here. It would have been great to do this on a pre-negotiated bill that hit the floor that the Democrats all of a sudden moved the goalposts on. But we are where we are, and we're going to go deliver for the American people because they expect nothing less right now. They want their Border Patrol funded. They want ICE operations to continue. And Senate products that don't meet that measure are not something that we're interested in. So the reconciliation, the skinny reconciliation product is the way to go. It's probably the only path forward to make sure that we fully fund these operations. And so we're going to go do our job and comply and make sure that we're honoring the voters' requests in funding these operations.
And that's good to hear, good news. But at the same time, it's Senate Republicans that are going to the White House today. So, but you're saying that you would like to see the Republicans come over to the House side. I'm wondering if the president today is going to have to basically play mediator.
Well,
maybe. Trump actually might have to play mediator on this one. That is possible. I agree with her. I don't think he needs to. I think the Republican Party needs to get their head out of their ass. I think the Democrats definitely need to get their head out of their ass. Let's finish this war. It's almost done. Let Trump do what he needs to do, man. The Democrats are always going to be complete. Donald Trump has done everything right, and the Democrats just freak out. That's all they do.
I think right now where the Senate's at, and I don't know that mediation is necessarily necessary, but where the Senate's at is the Senate is the ones with the problem right now. Yeah. They cannot reach 60 votes. So we in the House have passed fully funding this multiple times. And so the mechanics of this probably need to originate in the Senate. How do they cobble together 50+1 votes to make sure that it passes? Once they get that done, we're ready in the House.
Well, President Trump, he is the deal maker. So we shall see.
Right.
Congressman Russell Fry, thank you for being with me. I appreciate it, sir.
Thanks, Sharon.
All right.
Okay, what's the next step? What's the next one? Oh my God, Iranians used as human shields amid strikes. Are you kidding me?
Bring in senior political correspondent with the Daily Mail, Alina Shirazi, into the show here. Alina, thank you so much for joining us today. I wanted to start off real quick. You were at the White House press briefing on Wednesday, and you had a question for Caroline Leavitt that I just want to play out here as we kick this off.
Iranian, and I've been talking to them through the blackout. One of my family members yesterday said goodbye to me. So what message should we be sending Iranians when they message me saying, what should they be doing right now? How should they stay?
They should be taking down the asshole Ayatollah. That's what the Iranian people should hopefully be able to do. Hopefully. I don't know what they can do ultimately, but let's see.
Safe, because they really don't know what to do.
I think the president's main priority, and my main priority as his spokeswoman, is to make sure that clear messages are sent to the American people, of course, which is my job today. With respect to the Iranian people, the president, has taken out the imminent threat that was posed by their military to the United States, to our allies in the region, to our forces in the region, and of course, as the president has long said, he hopes that Iran will be a country of peace, of prosperity, and we're moving into this next round of negotiations to hopefully come to an agreement with this new regime that will create long-term stability in the Middle East.
Alina, and just listening to that exchange and what you said where you had to call a family member and say goodbye, just kind of walk me through your thoughts of that exchange there.
Yeah, this was actually my first White House briefing. I used to cover.
Oh, shit, there's a comment. This is a good comment.
Chipcoman 2332 says, highest taxes and crime rates 8 in blue states and blue cities.
Absolutely, bro. Abso-freaking-lutely. Very true.
Nightbot says, VIP members support us, link.
Cover the White House under Biden, but I was the early morning reporter, so it was really just
Riding with Biden.
the backdrop at that point, right at 7, 8, 9 a.m. But getting added to the White House team here at Daily Mail, I knew I had the weight of not only the countless questions that are facing Americans right now, but the hundreds of Iranians who are counting on me. And it's a matter of survival for them. So to your point, I think Caroline almost knew how badly I needed to get that question answered. I was making a lot of eye contact, shooting my hand up, being really aggressive, trying to get her attention. She made eye contact with me a couple times. Thankfully, I got her attention. So you heard there, I asked what I should go back and tell Iranians when they asked me what they should be doing right now and how they should stay safe. After President Trump said that he would wipe out their civilization if their leaders didn't come to the table. I think I saw it get through to her a little bit, especially given how I humanized the issue in the briefing room. Honestly, I don't think she expected that question at all, to be honest. She said she thinks the president's main priority and her main priority that day, kind of how she phrased it, she was kind of slow rolling into it to figure out what she was going to say, I think, is to make sure that clear messages are sent to the American people. And ended saying with this next round of negotiations this weekend that they will hopefully come to an agreement, but that really didn't answer the question. Unfortunately, I don't have a good answer to go back to for the people of Iran and for the many Iranian Americans who are worried about their loved ones, Bowen.
And I just wanted to play the follow-up you had real quick as well, if we can dip back into that press briefing from Wednesday.
Said that they should stay inside of their homes and also take back their country. So there's a contradiction there. So how do you address that?
Again, we're moving into this next round of negotiations with the remnants of the regime and those that we are speaking with now to hopefully reach a place of peace long-term for the region, and that includes the Iranian people as well.
And then,
well, hopefully there's long-term peace. I mean, that's what we're wanting the whole time. We would love peace. But the problem is Iran was making nuclear weapons. Iran was being stupid. We know this. We know this.
Major General Tayo says, let's be honest. There's no advice for the people.
Yeah. Very true. Very true, Major General. Ain't that the truth? But thank you guys. Thank you guys for being awesome. I appreciate it. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We're only 280 subscribers away from 10,000. Oh, never mind. We're now 279 subscribers away from hitting 10K. So we're now sitting pretty at 9,721 subs. Once again, we're sitting pretty at 9,721 subscribers on the Michael Garza Show. 4-3. Trifecta. Michael Garza. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, man. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Hearing that, and I want you to talk about also your background with Iran and your family there, just so our viewers get a sense of that and your response or what you took away from this exchange on Wednesday.
I mean, I followed up there pointing out a contradiction. Trump has asked the people of Iran to rise up, and he has also asked them to stay inside of their homes, and there has been really no clear communications or follow-up or messaging for Iranians on what to do next. I mean, Iranians are asking...
I hope the Iranians just try to take out the asshole Ayatollah. I don't know. I think the Iranians need to sabotage. I think the Iranian people need to sabotage their own military. Think about it, man. Let's take a look.
Major General Tayo says, "Bro, Iranian government has been off the rails for a long time. Carter should have acted."
Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that one. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, bro.
What to do to survive. They're not asking, questions that might not impact them immediately. And the answer that they're getting, and what I took from all of that, is we're doing our best on the American side. They're talking about the latest on negotiations. Caroline talked about messaging.
Oh no, we're at 9,722 subscribers. You know what that means? We're 278 subs away. 278 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. We're almost to 10K, baby. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to help us get closer and closer and closer to 10K. We have been climbing up slowly. Honestly, not even slowly. I'd say we're climbing up pretty quickly, if we're going to be honest. 9,722 subs, everybody. 9,722. Let's go. Let's pump it up. Like a bathmate, yo, pump it up. Like a bathmate, ho, and pump it up. Like a bathmate, no. 'Cause I'm the bathmate boy. And I'm playing with my toys. I'm the bathmate boy, 'cause I'm playing with my toys.
She's definitely good at her job. She definitely skirted around it. And I think a lot of people, when I was looking at the comments as well, they weren't satisfied with what she had said there. You mentioned the family connection. I brought that up to her, hoping to get through to her so she could answer that question a bit better. I am worried about family and friends, as are a lot of us right now. It's even higher stakes for me to get this story right. It hasn't been the easiest assignment right now, but I'm committed to it and committing to getting answers.
Mm-hmm. Has there been any reaction from the Iranian people with the announcement of these peace talks scheduled for tomorrow?
Oh, shit.
Major General Tayo says, "Winning internet battles with semantics and deflection."
Hell yeah. My man, dude. My man. Major General Tao. 4-3. Honestly, Major General, you're a smart man, dude. You're a smart man. Iran sucks, though. I'm not a fan of Iran. If anything, I'm very much against the Iranian government overall. I'm happy to be very anti-Iran. I think Iran has been a little too crazy for too long, and I think they've done too many vile things for too long as well. That's how I feel about Iran, and I don't think I'm going to change my mind anytime soon about Iran. They need to get their act together, man. Iran needs to get their act together. Period. End of story. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It looks like Major General Tao just gifted a Michael Garza membership. Thank you so much for gifting a membership, Major General
Laugh
Tao.
out loud.
I really appreciate it. Everybody congratulate Bill Homer 5557 for receiving a gifted membership from Major General Tao 43. Let's go, dude. And thank you guys for double tapping the screen. By the way, double tap the screen if you love Major General Tao. For gifting, if you guys want to gift a channel membership, double tap the screen. If you guys want to super chat, double tap the screen. If you guys want to give a gift, double tap the screen, man. This channel is pretty hot, man.
I mean, Iranians really are conflicted about this, right?
Basically, all I'm asking you to do is double tap the screen. I love you guys.
They're hoping for the best for themselves and their families, and they want to stay safe. Meanwhile,
Laugh out loud.
Data when sourced from any government outlet is sus.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can't trust the government as far as you could throw it. You know what I mean? So thank you so much, Major General Tao. I appreciate the super chat, my pink brony bro. Israel, oh my God.
Israel First Goyim says, I would like a free membership.
You know, you might get one. I don't know. If anybody wants to gift memberships, man, have at it. Give me a few moments, though. There's something I need to accomplish, and give me one moment. I'll keep talking to you guys while I try to accomplish a certain task. I'm working with ChatGPT real quick to come up with a few phrases for me. Major General Tao, dude. Free stuff for Israel? Hell yeah.
Major General Tao says, free stuff for Israel.
You're a pink brony bro. Actually, while I'm looking this stuff up, I'm gonna post up some of the super chats that we received recently. From Major General Tao and from GMP.
Laugh out loud.
Data when sourced from any government outlet is sus.
Laugh out loud.
Yup, this is the right video.
Laugh out loud.
I think everyone is fine with LGB, but the problem is with the T. But even then, if they don't be obnoxious about it and leave everyone alone, it's fine.
Laugh out loud.
I can understand going after legitimate hate groups such as Patriot Front, Atomwaffen, or the KKK, but Turning Point USA? Are we for real?
Bitch, are you for real? Bitch, are you
Laugh
for
out
real?
loud.
These are just some of the
They killed the
super
last
chats.
man that wished to speak with words instead of bullets, and expected everyone to back down. Instead we uprise, the fire rises.
Bitch, are you for real? Bitch, are you for real?
Laugh out loud.
It's not this clip, but this one is also amazing.
Call me insane, insane, insane. 'Cause I know what I want, and I want it now. I want you.
Laugh out loud.
Look up the clip of Charlie even defending the gay community against a radical Christian, and these absolute goblins of human trash slander his name.
'Cause I want you. 'Cause I'm Mr. Vain. I sing a lot of old songs, probably because I'm old. Okay, give me a second, you guys. I got to make sure this looks good. Okay, that looks perfect. OMG. I love Nightbot so much, dude. Have I ever told you guys how gay I am for Nightbot? Nightbot is like the tits. It makes me jacked. I'm jacked. I'm jacked to the tits. Oh, man, that's so sexy. All right, let's do it.
That's all wrapped up with the hope that this regime will be eliminated. I did another interview a little while ago where I talked about how it's difficult to sort of separate the two because they're getting hit with missiles and bombs, and they don't know what's going to happen if they step outside of their homes. But they're also worried about what their own government will do to them. And I know we saw a lot of that when the president had said that he would wipe out the end of civilization, a little bit about what the government said that they would do. I mean, they made them.
I mean, Iran is so bad, dude. Iran is just so bad. I don't blame Trump for wanting to threaten Iran just for all the crap that they've pulled. They've pulled a lot of shit. I get it. I absolutely 100% get it. Totally. So I'm on board with what Trump's doing. I know that there's a lot of people who can't stand Trump and are pissed at him. But if you're going to be honest with yourselves, I hope you guys are. Trump is doing the right thing. Whether you realize it or not.
Be human shields around a lot of these key infrastructure points that Trump said that he would hit. It's a really, really difficult time. And, you know, the saying is stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think that's how most Iranians feel at this time.
And then one of your recent reports says the Iranian government is ordering people to go onto the streets as human shields. However, what the ceasefire deal has been,
of course, this is why nobody should respect the Iranian government. They literally want to use their own civilians, their own populace, as human shields. Come on, man. Come on. If anybody in America is defending the Iranian government right now, take a hard look in the mirror. Take a hard look in the mirror. Unreal.
Made. How does this work now with these human shields? Is this something that the Iranian government forces people out in the streets to do?
All right, but we're currently sitting pretty at 9,722 subs. Once again, we're at 9,722 subscribers, which means we are 278 subs away from hitting 10K. 278 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. Let that sink in. Let that fucking sink in, bro.
Yes, I mean, the government was literally telling people to form human shields, asking them to form chains around.
That's so crazy, dude. Iran sucks, dude.
Power plants and bridges and places that the president said that he would hit. They asked them to bring their children. They said that essentially it was a moral order that if they...
Wow. Dude, Iran's government sucks. Like, I don't know how anybody can fucking respect that. Could you imagine if the United States government told all of you guys to start making a human shield with your family to protect infrastructure? Could you imagine that? Because we don't have a shitty government. Iran has a shitty fucking government. It's as simple as that. Unreal, dude. Unbelievable.
Died, that they would be dying for their country. That's the way that they had phrased
Crazy.
it. We had seen that on the news, and I'd spoken to people in Iran, and they were telling me the same thing. They were confirming that these are the messages that they were getting. And some of the pro-regime supporters actually did go out and do that. I did that report, as you mentioned, where I spoke to Iranians that same day. Some of them told me that they were frantically evacuating major cities. Some of them were going to the countryside. They were sending goodbye messages to their families, to their loved ones. They had to delete all of their messages, is another thing that they told me. They were fearing that the government leaders would just check their phones. It all just felt so apocalyptic. It was really just crazy.
Yeah.
And you're covering this really extensively with this conflict, with those peace talks scheduled for tomorrow. What do you think we can expect?
Yeah, so, well, if history is any indicator, possibly not much. But Trump, he is sending his closers. He's sending the Vice President, J.D. Vance, who has historically been anti-war. So this will be very interesting to see how he handles this direct conflict face-to-face with these leaders. They're sending the rest of the American delegation, Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, to Islamabad this weekend for talks. These are the highest level direct negotiations that we have seen with Iran since 1979. They're facing Mohammad Ghalibaf. He is the Speaker of Iran's parliament. He is
Crazy.
a hardliner with a brutal reputation. I did another report where I spoke to Iranians who told me that his nickname inside of Iran is actually the rooftop killer.
The rooftop killer.
Crushing student protests.
Jeez.
And physically throwing students off of roofs. But
What a piece of shit. What a huge piece of shit. Holy crap. Oh, hold on, you guys. I got a call from my boy. Hello?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good, brother. How you doing?
I tried to have a sale yesterday and the rain kind of ruined that.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, I was calling to see what kind of stuff you sell, so I can keep an eye out for it.
Oh, what kind of stuff I sell? Well, it's been a while since I've sold anything. At least it feels like a few months, but yeah, usually I did. Yeah, usually I just resell it on Facebook Marketplace traditionally. But yeah, usually like video game consoles and in video games like old, like whether it's PS3, PS2, Xbox, you name it. You know, like any physical games, any physical video game consoles, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Alright, I'll keep my eye open for that. And then I was going to ask you, I don't know what your schedule's looking like in the near future, but if you're down, I'd love to start learning some trading, because I really need to find a different way to get some revenue coming in.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Yeah, always have as many streams as you can. That's always my motto. So, you know, because if one stream is like fluctuating for income, then you have at least the other streams to kind of bounce back on as kind of another outlet.
You do pretty good with the trading, or?
I do decently. It pays like rent and stuff like that, and it can pay. Well, I mean, because I do put a lot of money down into it. I was because I've been doing it for a bit, and it fluctuates. It fluctuates. You do have to put when you're doing trading, you do have to put well, how much money do I usually put down? Because I usually keep about let's see. Sometimes I keep about $7,000 to $8,000 available in my brokerage account for active trading, and then for like swing trading and stuff. So I'll buy like positions when they're going down, and then I just like sell them on the incline and stuff. So it's really just I'm just flipping really volatile companies is really all I'm doing at the end of the day. But it's fun. I mean, I could always show you what I do, and you could even though I put down even though I have like 6,000, 7,000, I started out small. So
That's where I'm at, because we ain't got that kind of money yet.
yeah, and I started small though. I'm just saying if you have like, if you have any like extra money that you can use towards swing trading, it can be really lucrative. I mean, sometimes you have to be patient, and that's the whole idea behind swing trading is you're not like you're not doing everything in a day. You're just setting up your you're just setting up your positions, and then when the positions go up, that's usually the time to sell, depending on how much of a profit basis you want. But yeah, no, if you ever want just kind of a rundown on what I do and stuff and all the other things I do, whether it's like content creation, whether it's the swing trading stuff, or honestly, I even do like things like DoorDash on the side and stuff like that too. If I'm feeling like I need a little bit of extra money, if I feel like I'm just not like making enough with the two main ones. Oh, it's surprisingly good actually. The one thing I like, I wouldn't really do Uber Eats because Uber Eats. I mean, I think Uber Eats seems to be growing around here, but like DoorDash is like, DoorDash definitely has a monopoly here for sure when it comes to doing delivery driving and stuff like that. Dude, yeah, DoorDash is great. I mean, I love it. I mean, you're not going to make like gobs and gobs of money, but if you need extra money, it can be very lucrative. Usually, when I do DoorDash, it's like I'm sitting in like a parking lot in downtown Coos Bay somewhere, and just waiting for an order to come in. Yeah, it can be tough. Luckily, I got one of those little tiny cars, so it's like it doesn't like. Luckily, it's not too much of a gas guzzler or anything. But yeah, I was gonna say when gas prices go down, it can definitely be lucrative. Another thing is, what else? What else can I say? Because yeah, I love helping people out, man. I love giving like, yeah, yeah, man. Like I love teaching, man. It's fun. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Heck yeah. Oh hell yeah, man. Yeah, even just simply talking on the phone with you right now is pretty cool. Yeah, I was just doing a live stream. I just stepped away from the live stream because I step away from it whenever. I love it. I just yeah. No, I saw your call. I was like, oh, dude, Jason's called. Fuck yeah. So it's like I was more interested in that because I was just having a little bit of a downtime on the live stream. But yeah, dude, just yeah, my main focus though, I always tell people like if you want security, at least when it comes to income and stuff, man, try to rack up as many streams as you can, preferably passive income. But if not, if you still have to be involved, at least make sure it's like something that you're into. That's always a big deal. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, dude. Yeah, I'm always down to talk about that stuff because I've been reading investing books like I'd probably say the last 10 years of my life and all that stuff. I think that's a lot of it's soaked into my brain stuff. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, and I get it, man, because I've been in that situation too, and I basically was living on ramen for a while just so that way I could rack up as much funds as I could and all that. Like that was like something that wasn't easy for me because I love eating other things besides ramen and stuff. So I get the struggle, man, because I've been there several times in my life. It wasn't until like probably 5 years ago until I got my life at least somewhat together more than it used to be. Oh, doing for specifically. Oh, oh yeah, the swing trading stuff. Yeah. Oh, I would actually be happy to just show you how to do it directly. The reason I would do that is because honestly, once you get a general principle down, you don't even have to spend that much time on it. As long as you know exactly what you're wanting to do in it, like, because yeah, it's nice because I'm not good at keeping track of like like what profits I get here and what profits I get here and all the stuff like that. So that's why I usually just teach people how sort of amount of money in there, whether it's as low as 50, 20, 100, whatever amount you want to start out with. I mean, the best time to start, I always say, is just now. That's the way I always say it. Because people think you need gobs of money to start trading. I started out so small. Like, it was crazy when I started trading. I only started like with like $150. Well, just remember, if they're telling you to day trade, they're freaking full of shit. that's why I think day trading is gambling, and swing trading, you have to be more patient. But swing trading, I mean, the whole, like, the reason they call it swing trading is because you're literally when the prices swing up or swing down rapidly. That's why they call it swing trading. Is because you're literally playing the swing itself. That's the whole goal, is to play the whole swing, and that's kind of the basis. Yeah, exactly. And I always like to make an emphasis that I never do it with individual stocks. And what I mean by individual is, like, I never do it with like one company. Like, I don't do it with Coca-Cola. I don't do it with like single entity companies. I do it with like the exchange traded funds that hold all those companies in like one basket. And the reason I do that is because I get to trade the entire. Basically, I get to how do I say this? Like, for instance, yeah. So basically, it's basically I get to trade the price of all those companies at once without actually having to buy each and every single company myself, because that would just be expensive, and it would also be tough to keep track of. So exchange traded funds, I always like to encourage, just because, one, they're a lot safer, and two, a lot of those funds hold thousands of companies in them. So, like, even if the markets were to crash, you don't necessarily have to worry sorry, about it going down forever. You just kind of have to be patient, wait for it to go back up. Now, there can always be bear markets and stuff like that, but things happen, you know. There's always going to be risk, but that's why I like to let everybody know. There's always a little bit of risk involved. Yeah, and I try not to overcomplicate it. So, like I always say, it's basically like if people who flip houses, they're always buying the house at the lowest price they can because the house is in a bad condition. Except for this is totally different, because the companies are exactly as they are. They're always going to be what they are. But what happens is the market, changes its mind on what the price is very frequently. So you can take advantage of that in the short term, and then profit in the short term as well. So. But anyway, I could go on and on about that. I'll be more than happy one of these days to, like, at least one of these days soon, because, like, I know that today I know that I'm trying to get to the 10,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. I'm close, dude. I'm so close. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's at Real Garza, or you could type in. Oh, sorry, I keep coughing this morning. Yes, I gotta drink some water, but. Yeah, it's at Real Garza, or you can just look at Michael Garza. But yeah, it's just the Michael Garza show. It's just a show I enjoy doing, man. I got lucky on that one, because I worked hard, but I still got lucky. Oh no, I average about like roughly $400, $500 a month on the channel. So, like, it's something, and it's something I've taken very, very seriously. And luckily, Brittany's been really supportive about it and stuff. And, like, she understood exactly what my mission was. And I was like, because I was gaining momentum before and I was making money, and then it's crazy. Once you get to 10K, like, it pushes out content like crazy. So it. Oh. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, with YouTube, it took me forever to go from 0 to 1,000 subscribers. But then now in a month, I get like about 1,000 subscribers in a month. So it's like the more subscribers you get, the more it's a compounding snowball effect. So yeah, and YouTube's also the second largest search engine in the world. So I'm like, I doubled down on it big time. But yeah, it's it. Oh, you're good, man. I'll let you go, Mr. Jason. Later, bud. Yep. Oh, what? Yeah, I think it's good because the interface is really friendly. You can do Robinhood or Schwab, or you can do both. I mean, whichever one you like. I would say Robinhood's good for beginners, actually, because it is. If you're just starting out, Robinhood's pretty solid. Heck yeah, Mr. Jason. All right, I'll talk to you later, bud. All right, leave it. Bye. Sorry about that, folks. I was talking to my boy Jason on the phone. He called me up and he was interested in some of the trading and stuff like that. So I wanted to give him just a little bit of a rundown. Never financial advice or anything like that, but sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, no, Jason's this really cool dude. Met him recently. He just a really swell dude. I like this guy. He's very interested in learning. I dig it, dude. I dig it. All right, you guys. Okay, let's take a look-see.
Bottom line, the United States will push for Iran to hand over their enriched uranium. I know that there's been a lot of talks, the 10-point plan, the 15-point plan. There's been a lot of confusion on what the plan really is. You know, is Pakistan giving them two different plans? It's all very confusing. But in this latest White House briefing, Caroline Leavitt did say that there is that 15-point plan that President Trump went back to them on. Enriched uranium is a key point here. In exchange, Tehran is, as of late, demanding a full withdrawal of U.S. troops from the Middle East, control over the Strait of Hormuz. And if talks fail by the Saturday morning deadline, that 2-week truce will expire. And ultimately, this is going to be the real test of Trump's transactional diplomacy.
Alina Shirazi, thank you so much for coming on today.
And by the way, everybody, we're now 276 subscribers away. 276 subs away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you guys. We're now sitting pretty at 9,724 subs. Once again, 9,724 subscribers. We're almost to 10K. We're almost there, you guys. So fucking close. Chris Rule, dude. Uncle Chris.
Chris Rule 17 says,
oh, shit.
Uncle Chris in the building.
So Coast Cider is saying that you would believe the Ayatollah over Trump? Really? Come on, man. You know the asshole Ayatollah sucks, dude. You'd believe Iranians over Meg? Like, look, I'm just not a fan of Iran. Period. End of story. Iran pisses me off to no end. I'm not typically for war. I'm really not. But, like, in this instance, Iran has been the #1 state sponsor of terror for so long. They've been really, really crappy. And that's just it.
Helping us get a perspective. Very difficult to find what people are actually saying there in Iran. Thank you for coming on and praying that your friends and family stay safe.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see, what else do we got here? 'Cause you're a pink brony bro, and then you dance at the gay clubs. All right, let's take a look at Hakeem Jeffries.
Israel is a great...
So this person is saying that Jeffries is an idiot, which I agree. What? P. Diddy's getting released from prison today?
There is a good chance that Diddy could be eating dinner at his home tonight.
No way.
Free man. And that's because an appeals court is now...
Diddy! Diddy's free! Dude, is P. Diddy actually free?
Hearing the review of the trial in which Diddy...
Dude, why is this not major fucking news, dude? Give me one moment. We got Chris Rule, everybody. Let's take a look at what Chris
Rule 17 says.
Okay.
Garza, the baby is doing really good. I got to hold her. What a healthy, beautiful baby girl. She had such a smile on her face. She actually fell asleep in my arms. She's doing good.
Dude, that's beautiful, man. I'm happy to hear that, brother. That's such a relief, man. I'm glad that she was born and no difficulties or anything. We got Uncle Chris in the house, everybody. We're gonna call him Uncle Chris Rule at this point. Chris Rule is also the show's uncle at this point. Uncle Chris, dude. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Everybody give a shout out to Uncle Chris. But if you guys can, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We're at 9,742 subs. 9,742 subscribers. Sorry, 9,724 subscribers, which means we're only 276 subs away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. So let's do this, dude. Okay, let's forget about Diddy real quick, though. Oh, shit. Let's see what's happening.
Jim Trusty, a former DOJ prosecutor, joins us now. You know this issue well. Unfortunately, we all know it too well. From the legal perspective, there's the temporary protected status, and the president's very upset about the judges on the immigration system. If that were to be addressed, would some of these people get deported sooner?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I share his frustration. Temporary protected status, TPS, is given out like candy, and it's kind of given out by country with justifications that go back as far as 40 years. So El Salvador, for instance, was a TPS country. If you showed up in the United States, you had this carte blanche from our immigration authorities to stay for as long as you want. And frankly, I don't know why Haiti's even on the list, but it's like every government program, Dana. They create an idea. Maybe there's a good motivation in the beginning or a good reason for it, but then it outlives its life. And here we are 40 years after, the El Salvadoran Civil War, and there's still TPS. In Haiti, same thing. There's no good reason why you should have carte blanche. It should be individualized, and a guy like him, should have been deported some time ago. So we're getting these avoidable tragedies based on government inaction and 4 years of an open border, and I think the president's right to be frustrated.
The head of ICE, Todd Lyons, spoke.
Oh, man, Chris Rule.
Chris Rule 17
I was hoping that
says,
the Didster...
Yo, Garza, I just looked up if Diddy was released as of April 2026. He was not released. He's doing 50-month sentence.
We all love Diddy, dude. No, we don't. There's a lot Diddy did in this city. There's a lot Diddy did with his dong. He showed his dick to... Oh, man. But thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. Give me one moment. Make sure that you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream.
Spoke to Fox yesterday about Virginia. That when we just talked about was in Florida. This is about Virginia and what Todd Lyons is asking the new governor to do.
I would just ask the governor to take read the headlines, see what's going on in your state. work with ICE, get these criminals out of your neighborhoods, make your state safer. It's so frustrating because we see innocent people getting murdered all the time, and it's totally preventable. And if, elected officials like the governor want to give me a call and work with us, that's what we want.
And then Governor Spanberger said this. He said, Virginia is not a sanctuary state, full stop. There's a lot of misinformation out there. But the former governor, Youngkin, he was on Hannity. He disagreed. Watch.
People that she would work to keep Virginians safe, and then the first thing she did was prohibit collaboration with the federal government, from the state police, from our Department of Corrections, and of course from local law enforcement. We had a tremendous partnership that had arrested thousands and thousands of violent criminals who were here illegally, and she ended it all, and it's made Virginia less safe.
That's the thing, then. That's the one thing about the Democrats I will say is they left the border a little too open. And it's crazy that, hold on. All right, everybody, let's keep on rolling. You know what time it is. Let's go.
I feel like she was playing some word games with that trustee, saying that it's not a sanctuary state, but she did make a change after Youngkin left.
Yeah, she immediately rescinded a cooperation order that had the Virginia authorities working with ICE. And, then she played this incredible word game of saying, we're not going to let a fine law enforcement agency like the Virginia State Troopers be subordinated to ICE. Well, that's never the issue. It's never a question of suddenly being deputized or taken over.
Yeah, this lady's out of her mind. This lady's out of her bloody mind. Ugh. This is what happens this is why the Democrats need to change their policy on the border, because if the Democrats ever regain power again, that's going to be a scary thought, because they're so soft on crime. They're soft on the border. The Democrat Party's just soft. It's not good. Not good at all.
By ICE. It's whether you're willing to do very simple things like share the daily jail list. If they share a jail list of who got locked up overnight, ICE can look into it, figure out which people are illegal, and issue detainers. And all that does for the citizens of Virginia, for the Commonwealth, is it means if you get out on your state case, you've been locked up on a new crime, you get out on your state case, you don't get out, you get hit with a detainer, and you begin immigration proceedings. That seems like such a common sense, agreeable thing. And by the way, it's not only cheap and quick, it's the safest way for ICE to enforce the immigration laws against people that are in the criminal justice system. She undid that with the stroke of a pen right when she took office, and then she's...
God, that pisses me off, man. That really pisses me off, actually.
Pretending that she's kind of somehow pro-law enforcement and anti-sanctuary doesn't hold together.
No. You can't be pro-law enforcement and then take a bill and make it to where it's tougher for law enforcement. You can't. I'm sorry. You just can't do that, bro.
All right. Thank you. We'll see how that continues to go. Hopefully there are no more crimes, but we'll see. And also want to wish a very happy birthday to your mom, Penny Trustee, is 87 years old today. Happy birthday from all of us here.
Nice. You made her day. Thanks, Dan.
All right,
Well
thank
done.
you.
HBD, Penny. Enjoy it.
Be sure to like and...
Well, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Okay, let's take a look. Peter Ducey said, oh, I don't care. Peter Ducey is kind of gay. I'm just kidding. Let's see. All right. Shocking outlook for China's economy. Let's take a look.
2 Chinese oil tankers are waiting near the Strait of Hormuz. Gordon Chang joins me now. He's a China expert and he's with me here in New York. As I understand it, the Iranians are demanding Chinese currency, the RMB, in payment for these tolls and for the oil. What's the significance of them demanding Chinese currency?
Well, it shows that clearly Iran's working with China. China, of course, forced Iran to do this. And also, about a week ago, Iran said it would not allow any cargoes through the Strait of Hormuz that were not paid for in renminbi. So there's 2 things. It's the payment.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. China, look, I think China cooks the books. The Chinese government cooks the books when they release their economic data reports. I don't think they're being fully truthful.
For the cargo plus the toll in Chinese currency.
But we don't care, do we? I mean, it's an attack on the dollar, but a very small attack. And what we really want is for the oil to get through anyway. I don't care where it goes.
Yes, we want the oil to get through, but it is an important attack on the dollar because it's an attack on the petrodollar. And if the Chinese can get the Gulf states to take renminbi or something else, that is a real assault on us. But the other thing, of course, is that if we've had a consistent foreign policy over 250 years, it's been the defense of the global commons. What Iran is doing right now is closing off a critical waterway. If they get away with it, other countries will do the same. China is trying to close off the East China Sea at this moment with their 40-day closure.
Interesting.
So this could be a change in the global architecture from an open one to a closed one.
What role does China play in opening the strait? Any role at all?
Well, it is...
Other than paying the money to get their oil out.
Here's the thing, man. I don't trust Iran at all. And if they make everybody pay a toll, like if they start making ships pay that $2 million toll just to cross the strait, that's not even fucking worth it. Like, you can't... I don't understand. You can't take Iran seriously at this point. Iran... If I'm going to be honest, Iran does not deserve to be taken seriously. They just don't. Why should they? Why should we take like Iran just needs to realize that they don't hold the cards here that the US does. It's as simple as that. Now, crude oil appears to be down for the day, which is good. The markets I'm actually looking at the markets right now. I'm looking at a few of my positions. I was able to profit very, very heavily, by the way. Mainly because the markets crashed. I bought a lot of positions in the ETFs that I have. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, here we go.
Well, of course, they've been supporting Iran across the board, except for soldiers, sailors, and pilots, but everything else. So it's keeping Iran in the war. The other thing, of course, it did play a small mediating role in the ceasefire. And
this is a very interesting investing question, which I do want to answer real quick.
7943 says, how do you purchase a stock like, for instance, crude oil?
Okay, so if you want to purchase a stock, like more related to like crude oil and stuff like that, hold on. Let me, I do want to edit some of the filters real quick. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. Da 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 da. Okay, so what you're wondering is, how do you purchase a stock? For instance, like crude oil. Okay, so you want to find, there's a few ways to get exposure to oil. You could do so through an ETF. You could do so through many, many means, to be honest. And but at the end of the day, it's up to you on how you want to get that exposure. Oh, God damn. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just all over the place today. But yeah, it truly depends on how you want to get that exposure. I mean, for me personally, I like to get the exposure through owning the gas company, the oil companies themselves, like the Chevrons, the Shells, the 76s, you name it, and other oil producing companies. So, for example, what is the best way to gain exposure to oil? And instead of using Yahoo, I'm going to use Google because Google is just a better search engine. And it has an AI mode, so we're just going to use AI mode on this one. Not now. So if you want direct price exposure, there's future-based ETFs, funds like the United States Oil Fund or the United States Brent Oil Fund use futures contracts to mimic the price movements. There's also corporate and cash flow exposure, which is just basic investing. For long-term growth and dividends, buying the companies that produce or transport the oil is often more sustainable. So there are a few ways you could do this. You can actually, this is not financial advice, by the way, but like you get like global titans like ExxonMobil and Chevron. They manage the entire supply chain, making them more resilient to price crashes than pure drillers. So honestly, owning ExxonMobil and Chevron give you real exposure to oil, to the oils, to oil sectors. There's also the broad energy ETFs like the Energy Select Sector, the ZLE, which I have the ZLE in my portfolio. It's a nice one to have. It's a good ETF. It holds all the energy stocks in the S&P 500, offering instant diversification with very low fees. Also income-focused MLPs, which is master limited partnerships. Like I'm okay with MLPs. I don't really get into MLPs too much, but feel free to look into those a little bit further. But yeah, this is what Google's AI is recommending. Not financial advice by any means. But if you want maximum leverage, I believe oil futures isn't too bad. I was going to say the ZLE ETF would be my personal choice. That would be mine. Because you get exposure to all the energy companies overall, and it gives you diversification just in case. So if you want that exposure to oil and other energy sources, the XLE is pretty good. But if you want direct exposure to just oil primarily, Chevron and ExxonMobil are good companies to own as well. I like those. Let's keep going.
And I think that they probably did push it over the line because they were pushing on an open door that had been really opened by
I mean, USO is pretty good vacation time. I don't mind USO. That one's not too bad. But yeah, absolutely get it, man. Absolutely get it.
Pakistan and others. But the point is, China wanted to show that it was a mediator, show power.
By the way, we're at 9,724 subs, everybody. That means we're 276 subscribers away from hitting. We're almost there, dude. We're almost there. So frickin' close, bronies. You're a pink brony, bro. But yeah, man, we're getting there. We're getting close, and it's nice to see the hard work has paid off on this channel. I've live streamed. I've done a lot of shorts. I've had a good time with it. And YouTube, I want to thank YouTube for being kinder to me than they used to be. That's one big thing. So big shout out to YouTube. Thank you.
Power because President Trump
Laugh
is
out
scheduled
loud.
to go to the Chinese
If it's
capital
safe
May
to
14th.
automatically register eligible adults for the draft, isn't it safe to automatically register eligible adults to vote?
That's a good question. So Disc Golf, thank you for the question. So let me reread it real quick. So if it's safe to automatically register eligible adults for the draft, isn't it safe to automatically register eligible adults to vote? Yeah. I guess you're not getting any arguments from me. Are you talking about the voter ID law? Are you saying that the voter ID law is a bad idea still? Or are you talking about something different? Hold on, let me reread that. Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Here is the deal. Some people may not want to vote and do not want the chance of someone else voting for them, voting on their behalf. Personally, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it, brother. No, thank you so much for the super chat, though. I really do appreciate it, Disc Golf. No, I think voter ID is a good thing, ultimately, if that's what you're getting to at. As far as automatically registering eligible adults to vote, I don't know. I think it's up to the adult to make themselves eligible. You know, they got to put in the work, you know, make yourself eligible. Go register yourself, you know.
Disc Golf says, I don't think it's a bad idea to have an ID to vote. But that's not what the SAVE Act does. I can go into a bank and use my ID or go to the liquor store and use my ID, if we pass the SAVE Act. Random Gian at 92.
I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying, Disc Golf. Okay, that makes a little
miss?
more sense. So you didn't miss too much, Mr. Ty Lord, but I will say this. Yeah, I mean, look, if you bring your ID to the voting poll, I think it's a good thing. The whole goal is to try to minimize fraudulent voting, and I think that using an ID to verify that, first off, to verify that you're a citizen, I guess, and to verify that you're the person that you say you are, that's a good thing. It prevents fraud. And while the signature thing, I believe the signature process is a good thing, it should be, look, the fact that the signature process is like the only security system in place to prevent fraud is kind of stupid. I think you should have an ID, because I believe in layered security systems. So I think the first security system in place should be, do you have an ID? Okay, good. You can register to vote. You can show that you are who you say you are when you get to the polls. And, yeah, that's great. And then from there, after you show who you really are, then you can, give me a second to think about this real quick. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Disc Golf. I really do appreciate that big time, man, more than you realize. You know, once you show you are who you say you are, who you claim to be, then you have to sign it, and then the signature is the second layer of security. And when you have two layers of security procedures, it can really mitigate the fraud. It can mitigate any possible fraud, and I think it's a good thing. I'm not a big fan of mail-in ballots. I like the convenience of mail-in voting, but I don't like the fact that mail-in voting is rife with fraud. Allegedly. And I'm not a big fan of mail-in, but I like the convenience. But as far as practicality is concerned of preventing fraud, I don't know. Man. So, cheers to that. Thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, though. I really appreciate it.
Disc Golf says, some people don't want to be registered for selective service. I mean, voting is not required if you're registered.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, though. I really appreciate it. The more subscribers we get, the better. So don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're trying to get to 10,000. We're only, get this, we're only 276 subscribers away from hitting 10K. 276 subs away. Can you believe it? So yeah, if you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow. We're trying to get to 10K by the end of this week. Even if we don't, as long as we get close, that's the most important thing. But yeah, we're currently sitting at 9,724 subs. Once again, 9,724. Let's get there, man. 276 subs away. Let's go, dude.
And so they want goodwill because the Chinese want a lot of other stuff.
You think he goes? You're not sure?
I'm not sure. And the reason is...
You don't think he should go, do you?
I don't think he should go for a lot of reasons. You don't go to the capital of an enemy combatant, especially in the middle of a war. Also, you know, we had this idea...
Yeah, you don't want that to happen, man. You don't want that to happen.
...that if we talk to the Chinese, we can come to some accommodation. Well, we've had this idea for more than 2 decades, basically since the end of the Cold War, even before the Cold War ended. And it has only put us into this precarious situation. So we got to try something new, which is to say something new might not work, but at least it has a chance of working, because what we've been doing up to now has just been driving us deeper into the hole.
We do deals with China, but they don't live up to their obligations, do they?
No, they certainly don't.
I mean, China, here's the thing about China, man. China is not necessarily an ally, but they're not exactly an enemy completely. Do I trust China at all? No. I do not trust China in any way, shape, or form. I don't think the government should. I think it's foolish to trust China at this point. They're just they're an adversary more than anything. So yeah, I don't think we should trust China in any way. No. Why should we?
BBDO Odal says, if you don't register to vote, you shouldn't be allowed to be a citizen of that state. With no benefits at all.
Yeah, that's a
Voting,
good
running
take.
for office, etc.
But yeah, I think voter ID is a good thing, man. I think voter ID is a great thing, man. Yeah, totally fine with... I really am fine with voter ID. I think it's great. Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream, though, you guys. Double tap the screen to like the stream. We're trying to get to 100 likes. We're trying to get to 100 likes in the next... I don't know. However amount of time. All right, we're trying to get to 100 likes in the next 30 minutes. How does that sound? 100 likes in 30 minutes. Can we do it? So double tap the screen to like the stream.
I mean, fentanyl. You know, we just had our drug czar, Sarah Carter. This is the 4th time Xi Jinping has made a promise to an American president to stop the flow of fentanyl. And this is 4 times that they have dishonored that promise. Once to Obama in 2016, once to Biden in 2023, and twice to Trump, 2018 and 2025. So why are we talking to these guys? You know, they dishonor everything they say. We need to start imposing costs, and we need to have a really different view of China, because if we don't, we're in for some really hard times.
Are they hurting?
Yes, they are.
How badly?
Because of the oil shock.
Yep.
Diesel prices were up 13.5% in the first days after the attack. Diesel's very important for the Chinese economy. But there's something more important, and that is Xi Jinping now has only one path for economic growth. That's to export more. That means if the world is turbulent, and the Chinese have been creating a lot of turbulence recently, but if the world gets more turbulent, it means deglobalization, it means less trade, it means the Chinese economy has no hope of growing.
Gordon Chang, you know what you're talking about.
Well, and here's the thing, man. I don't trust China the same way that I don't trust Iran. There are certain countries that I think have such a toxic culture that you just can't easily trust them, you know. And yeah, I know that the international community thinks Americans are lazy or whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't give 2 shits about what other countries think about America. And rightfully so. I don't think anybody should. We're at 9,724 subs, everybody. Once again, we're at 9,724 subscribers. Let's kick it. I'm telling you, man, we're 276 subs away from hitting 10K. Is it weird that I'm kind of turned on by that? Is it weird that I'm turned on, everybody? Are you guys like freaking out that I'm turned on by that? Come on. Oh, man. This is fabulous, man. This is fabulous. Oh. Tisk. Disc Golf, though, I do appreciate that $10 super chat, though, man. That really does help the channel in a lot of ways, so we always appreciate it here. Let me take one more look at the markets, though. I always love taking a quick gander at them. Give me a few more moments, everybody. Okay, they pay a good dividend. Okay. Yeah, there's not... I was able to make some good trades this morning, so I'm feeling pretty satisfied about that. But, yeah, you guys know me. I am probably the biggest advocate for swing trading on YouTube. I might be the biggest... I wouldn't say the biggest channel. But, like, look, I do not believe in day trading. I think day trading is so fucking stupid. And, so don't do... I think day trading is gambling, but I think swing trading is a lot more responsible because you get to be patient. Especially if you're buying... Especially if you're buying your positions at a lower price. You want to sell them at a higher price later. When is it going to happen, though? You have to do it on no time limit. You have to have no real time limit. The whole goal is to buy it at a lower price, whatever ETF you're getting into, and then sell it at a higher price later. I prefer to swing trade ETFs over individual stocks because ETFs are less volatile. Well, sorry, not less volatile. Sorry, they could be just as volatile. Like small cap ETFs are volatile. But diversification is a bit of a security blanket, right? Diversification within an ETF is a security blanket overall. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, we got to watch this. A Reddit mod freaks out on their neighbor. Okay.
I saw a video today of a fedora tipping gentle sir freaking out, going ballistic, and I thought for sure it was just a skit. It was a staged video. It was fake for the sake of like rage baiting and engagement farming. But now I've seen that same video being picked up by actual journalists, like actual outlets. So maybe it's real. I just find it hard to believe that this is legitimate because everything about it is too perfect. This guy is wearing a Demon Slayer shirt with a pseudo trench coat and calling himself the name of a fictional character who...
Oh, God, no. It's a Reddit mod, dude. It's a Reddit mod. No. Okay, let's
is known for being in a trench coat, and he just actually looks like the quintessential Discord moderator.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
Dude, I would not trust this guy. First off, he's wearing a trench coat. He's like, can you open the door, please? I just want to make sure that everything's going on totally fine here. Yeah, fuck you, dude. I would not open the door for that guy either. In fact, if anything, I would get my baseball bat out and be like, and then I would open the door. And then I'd tell him to leave. And if he wouldn't leave, then I would just, use a baseball bat. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look here.
What do you mean? I don't know. I just figured I'd check on something.
This saint was just in the neighborhood making...
Okay, that's just creepy. I'm just checking on something. Dude, I wouldn't open the door for that guy at all. I'd be like, yeah, get the fuck off my lawn. I'd be like, you get the fuck off my lawn, dude.
Making sure that there was no ne'er-do-wells up to no good. He has just finished his training with the katana.
And this is the problem with Reddit moderators, is they think that Reddit moderators have this power within them. They think that once they're a Reddit moderator, they can moderate the world. They could tell people what to do in their own homes. That's my assumption.
He often studies the blade, and he thought he would just kindly pay you a visit just to make sure everything's all right over there. He is a master of cringe breathing, and this guy is a force to be reckoned with, so if there was any trouble, he could just...
Hold on, let me take a look at this comment real quick.
Joe J4I2X says, Yo, have you seen those AI vids of Iran shooting down AB-2 and the new ones of the F-15?
No, I haven't seen those yet. I haven't actually taken a look at those yet, but I may do so later, though. I may do so later.
COL Old says, Hello Garza, hope you can buy real silver and not fake silver stocks.
Dude, honestly, I make a lot of money swing trading the SLV. So, what the hell, dude? Dude, Palm Beach Pete! No way, is this the Palm Beach Pete?
Palm Beach Pete 1 says, oil up.
Dude, is this the official Palm Beach Pete? Palm Beach Pete, bro. Everybody, we got Palm Beach Pete in the house. Let's go, dude. Oil up, dude. I'm going to oil up like Diddy, bro. Oil up, dude. Palm Beach Pete in the house, bro. I love it. I got to get that baby oil.
Play them on the spot. This fucking guy is like a mystical cryptid. He's like Santa Claus, but for Redditors. How Santa Claus knows who's been naughty or nice, this guy knows who's got too low of karma, and he pays them a visit, but instead of wiggling his big ass down their chimney, he just knocks on their front door and then blows a fucking gasket.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house. Open this fucking door.
What the fuck, dude? Hold on, we gotta look at that kick again.
Fucking gasket.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house. Open this fucking...
Holy fucking shit, dude. That guy's a fucking psycho. That's why you don't let strangers into your house, dude.
Door. Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter, man?
Where's your daughter? Dude, first off, you don't look like... This guy looks like he shouldn't even be... He should be about 5,000, 10,000 yards away from a school. Why is he talking about this dude's daughter? What the fuck?
Talking about? Where's your daughter? Who's in there with you?
Bro. I can't believe the door.
What is this? Dude, if a Reddit moderator like that was fucking flipping out on me, dude, I would just... You know what? I'm going to jail for a couple months. Let's get the baseball bat out, dude. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Fuck that guy. You know what I'm hoping for at the end of this video? I'm hoping that the guy who was trying to kick down the door, I sincerely hope he gets you-know-what. I hope he gets blasted.
Door didn't just explode. He should have deatomized that bitch. This is a very strong advertisement for that door. It must be like an adamantium core in there because I don't know how it withstood the...
Yeah, dude, Reddit moderators are all powerful and all-knowing, dude.
Power of this man's kicks. Granted, he was nerfed. He was wearing flip-flops, so he couldn't really get the oomph, the elbow grease that he usually would get there.
This
but
is
this
amazing,
is a superhuman we're dealing with. It was so powerful, it almost sent him tumbling backwards. He had to regain his balance while,
so fucking amazing, dude.
Falling back down the stairs there. It was a devastating blow right there. That shit would make Omni-Man tremble. And then he starts asking where his daughter is. Perfectly normal question to be asking.
Dude, honestly, a creep like that guy at the door, dude, if there's a creepy dude like that asking, where's your daughter? Dude, you need to, I would just, first off, call the cops. I would call the cops and I'd let them know, hey, there's clearly a pedophile at my door trying to ask about my daughter, so I'm letting you guys know in advance I'm going to hurt him. You guys are going to have to send a couple ambulances. That's it.
A complete stranger. Maybe he'd been talking to some kids on Roblox or something, and now he's trying to track them down. I have no idea, but it immediately gets
This is so fucking creepy,
unhinged.
Dude. I am so curious to see how this ends.
Speaking of unhinged, you're crazy if you don't check out the new Starforge sale going on right now. There's a huge
God, fucking Penguin, fucking Charlie, don't you make enough on ad revenue? Can you stop pitching these gay ass sponsors? I'm gonna like the video, but can you quit pitching these gay ass sponsors?
Sale on Voyager, Navigator, and Collab PCs. So click the link in the description. Best PCs in the universe.
Bro, if you don't leave, this fucking door. Open this door. I'm breaking it fucking down. You understand me? Leave my house. You don't. Are you okay? Is everyone in this house okay? What? Everyone's okay. What do you want?
What the fuck is this? Honestly, it's a crime. Those sandals are a fucking crime, by the way. Sandals and this guy sucks. This guy is exactly. This guy is on Hansen. This guy has probably been on Hansen versus Predator several times. He's probably a Reddit mod, has been caught by Chris Hansen several times. This guy sucks, dude. Hold on, let's take a look here.
Spartan Virus says he ricocheted off the door from his own kick, LOL.
Fucking crazy, I know, dude. I'm like, come on, man.
It's hard to tell because of the quality on the Ring doorbell.
Tim Smith 4118 says trench coat with sandals is the Labubu of 2026.
Oh my god. Tim Smith is absolutely correct on that. That's the new Labubu, by the way. That right there is the new Labubu. 100%, dude.
But he's actually activating his Sharingan right now. It's about to get serious.
Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck, hold on. We gotta do our fucking... I'm doing my Naruto shit. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Yes, they're in a standoff right now, and he is subtly powering up because it's looking like it's going to be a scrap.
It's
and
going
trust me,
down,
I know
dude.
a warrior when I see one. This guy fucks. Like, this is not...
This guy, I'm not gonna lie, I love Charlie's hilarious sarcasm to all this. This is amazing. Amazing.
Someone you want to be taking lightly here. His body is a weapon of mass destruction. He looks like if someone wished Milhouse was real.
Can you leave my house, please? Can you open the door, please?
Oh my god. This guy is Iran. So this is how I look at the Iranian-US conflict. This guy is the Iranian government. This guy right here at the door is at the Iranian government. The guy in the house is the United States of America. And there is no way in hell that this guy is going to win this situation. And dude, you should never, especially if they're wearing a trench coat like this, if you see a guy wearing a trench coat and is asking you to open the door, not only do you deadbolt it even harder, you should probably get out a gun.
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
I'm not saying you should do anything with the gun, but I think you know what I really think should happen.
Spartan Virus says he's the GOAT edit. Spartan Virus says nightmare fuel.
Yeah, this is so cringy, dude. When I watch people like this thinking that they should thinking that they should regulate and white knight the world, I fucking hate these people. These people suck. In fact, you know what's sad? My ex-friend Billy kind of acts like this. Kind of acts like he needs to be the moral. He acts like he needs to be the moral arbiter of everything, and that everything goes through him. Maybe. Oh my God, maybe this guy is Billy. I don't know. JK, allegedly, but no, Billy sucks. By the way.
You know what my name is? I don't know who you are. You don't belong to this neighborhood. That's for sure. This is my neighborhood, though.
This is my neighborhood? What the fuck, dude?
Oh. Yeah, I live there. I don't know you. My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Open the door. This is my...
Aaron Dresden? Oh my God, he's... What anime? So Death Slayer. Okay, Death Slayer anime shirt. God, this guy sucks. This guy is the ultimate Reddit moderator. This guy right here is a delusional Reddit moderator. 100%, dude. 100%. Ball Knowledge is wondering who's Billy. I'm no longer friends with him. He personally attacked me quite a bit. And when I say personal attacks, I mean like verbal personal attacks. And I don't want to deal with him anymore. You know, he would argue with me about politics. I would never. And the irony was I never brought up politics. He was always the first to bring up politics and tell me what to think about politics. And then I would disagree with him. Then he would get mad at me for disagreeing. Then he would verbally, personally attack me about things I do in my life, and I hated it. So I basically just ended my friendship with him. He doesn't deserve to have me as a friend. He doesn't deserve to have me as a friend.
Tim Smith 4118 says, Aaron Dresden is the Leroy Jenkins of 2026.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
My neighborhood. Open the fucking door.
Yeah, that's the thing I mentioned.
That is so creepy, dude. I love how this guy thinks he's going to get the guy to open the door. Honestly, everything he's doing is just encouraging the guy not to open the door. Why would you open the door for this psycho? This guy is clearly a psycho, and he deserves to get his ass kicked. The guy that's at the door trying to kick down the door, he deserves to get his fucking ass kicked.
At the start, he calls himself Harry Dresden, which is a fictional character from something called the Dresden Files. He's a professional wizard who solves supernatural crime. This is why I'm saying, like, I find it so hard to believe that this is real. Like, he's the one that just offers that up out of nowhere. It feels like they were trying to really dial up, like, the amount of cringe, so now he's trying to pretend that he's a professional wizard.
I feel like this is very easily could just be staged rage bait. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was staged. I mean, a lot of stuff on the internet these days seems to be staged for clout, because people want to go viral. So what they do is they stage like all these crazy scenarios with their friends, just so that way they could go viral. But let's take a listen.
Wizard and investigator, and that this is his neighborhood. You're on the property of Harry Dresden. You're breathing my air, Buster, so you better open this door. I gotta go in there and check. Where's your daughter at, huh? Where's she at? And then, like, throwing these, like, puny kicks.
Dude, honestly, if a freaking pedo like that guy is asking where your daughter's at, dude, that's a red flag, bro. That's a red fucking flag. Screw that guy, dude. Guy sucks. Yeah, these Reddit moderators, dude, they just suck balls, dude. Yeah, if a guy in a trench coat is asking where your daughter is and telling you to open the door, you deadbolt that door. You deadbolt the hell out of that door. You call the cops and let the cops know you're about ready to injure the guy. And then this is not financial advice or life advice. This is just what I would do. Yeah, screw that dude.
Hicks and stuff. And now he's about to get a lot more wild about it. Like, to me, it just feels fake. Like, it feels like this is all staged. Everything about it is just too perfectly embarrassing and, like, shameful. This guy is what you picture when you think of Reddit mod. Like, hey, I saw that your comment got down-duded a lot. I've decided to ban you for the sake of the r/defending AI art community. To get out of here. That kind of thing.
No. Or I will.
Hold on. No, or I'll fuck. Oh my god.
Fucking end you.
You better open the door. No, just kidding. Just kidding. And that you gotta open these serious. You better open the door, bro. This guy is a fucking psycho, dude. I know it's probably staged, but still. I also wouldn't be surprised if this happened in real life. There's a lot of psychotic people out there. So I really wouldn't be surprised if this psychotic bastard really tried to do this.
Do you understand me?
I mean, he looks like the kind of person who would try to do this. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Just kick his ass, or just like, I would just, I would make sure that I have shotgun in hand. I don't know. I'm glad he's not opening the door, though. Glad he's not. Obviously, nobody would open the door in this scenario. The lack of self-awareness that this guy has is on another. This is like, how I was talking about how Billy didn't realize that. I don't think Billy's aware of his actions, but so how I was talking to you guys about how Billy was personally attacking me for not agreeing with him politically, and he did this so often. And I turned a blind eye to it and, forgave him. But I had to keep forgiving him, and then it would just keep happening and happening and happening and happening. And he would keep saying these terrible, derogatory personal things at me because I didn't agree with him politically. And honestly, it was a friendship that was not worth saving at that point because he had no self-control. The reason he got pissed at me is because of this show. I did this show not for him. I did it for me, and I did it for people who actually want to watch the show. Billy is not the target audience. And the problem is Billy is so delusional that he thinks everything is made for him, and that pisses me off. No, he's not the target audience. He tries to control everybody. He tries to manipulate people into thinking the same way that he thinks, even though the way he thinks is completely retarded. Billy's an idiot, and I'm glad I'm not his friend anymore. I'm glad I ended my friendship with him. I never want to speak to him again. I hate his guts. I really hate him. I actually hate him for being a piece of shit. And the more I look at this guy, the more I think, oh my God. I mean, this guy, I wouldn't say he perfectly describes Billy, but I wouldn't be surprised if Billy tried to do stupid shit like this.
Now you better start sweating. He put on the big boy voice. He got low into the baritone, the sultry tones there. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Playtime's over.
Whoa. Whoa. This is a level of crash out that I don't think I've ever seen before. Oh my God. I mean, this is a high level crash out, dude. I'm actually kind of impressed by this. This is a fucking high level crash out, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, this is psychotic behavior, bro. I have a feeling that this might be real. Holy do you fucking understand me? This is why I need to get a Ring camera. I need to get a Ring doorbell camera. I don't think there's anybody who does this. I hope not, but I need to get a Ring doorbell camera ASAP. I do have security cameras around the place, but oh my god, dude, this is crazy. This is wild. Yeah, it's absolutely psychosis behavior.
Spartan Virus says, nah. Yeah, that's psychosis behavior.
This is a reaction of a reaction.
All Knowledge
it is,
345
yes.
says, I'm confused. Is this a reaction of a reaction? Tim Smith 4118 says,
yeah, this is psychotic
Aaron Dresden
behavior,
is
bro.
the Leroy Jenkins of 2026.
This is like levels of psychosis. I'm like stunned. Like, what the fuck am I watching, dude?
All right, so when us older Americans hear phrases like
I saw a video today of a
Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go
I
back.
hate to
Hold on. Let's go back. Let's watch this again. This is so gay, dude. Dude, this is scary. This is absolutely
Eric Von
terrifying.
Erich says, this is absolutely
shit.
terrifying. Spartan Virus says, glitching the dang audio.
Get wired
Godwin
security cameras?
says,
Absolutely, bro.
Don't get Ring, use wired security cameras.
This is like so fucking insane, dude. You know what's funny? God, you know, I mean, watching videos like this make me glad that I'm no longer friends with Billy anymore. Like, I am glad I'm no longer friends with Billy, because I felt like if I kept disagreeing with him, he'd probably do this. And I'm just glad I don't talk to him anymore. It's just not worth it. The more I look at this, the more I'm actually happy I ended my friendship with Billy, because I feel like it could have ended up like this. Like him actually freaking out on me and shit because he doesn't have any fucking self-control and he's a fucking idiot. Spartan says, oh, okay, ring doorbells can get hacked. Okay, that's crazy. But yeah, Eric Von Erichs, dude, this is fucking terrifying. I know, bro. Holy shit.
Scary. Aura so powerful I was trembling through the computer screen and it wasn't even my Ring doorbell. Just seeing the way he monk palm strikes the way he's grabbing at it, like, oh man. I don't know the aftermath here. I don't know if the homeowner called the police, but if he did, I don't know if the police...
Are you kidding? Of course you called the police after that. Are you kidding? The homeowner should have... If the homeowner didn't call the police after that incident, I don't know what else to say. You need to absolutely call the police in that situation. If there is a psycho at your door doing that shit, call the police. Fucking call the police, dude.
Are strong enough to stop this man on a rampage. That probably was just more bodies left in his warpath. It's terrifying. Having the virgin Viltrumite come up to this guy's door and start asking where his daughter is and whatever. It's what a wild set of circumstances here, and what an interesting freak out. Like I said, I still am not convinced this is real. Everything about it is too perfect to showcase a loser, like a pathetic, unhinged loser. And like I feel like this guy had to...
Yeah, I feel like it's probably like I probably feel like Darman's probably behind this shit. I feel like our boy Darman is hilariously right behind this shit. In fact, I think we need to investigate Darman on this one. It's my opinion.
Be in on it for the sake of engagement farming. Like, I feel like he was typecast to play this character in this video.
He was made for this role.
I don't know. I still just have a hard time buying into the authenticity of this. But who knows? Maybe it is completely real. Either way, wanted to yap about it. That's about it. See ya.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Hey, look at this. Ceasefire Con. Is the deal collapsing? This was released 20 minutes ago. Let's take a listen.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see. As the President of the United States said, if the Iranians...
I just got to say, that was probably the cringiest video that I've watched on this channel in a long time. The Reddit moderator trying to break down that guy's door. Unbelievable, dude. Holy fucking shit. Unbelievable.
are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
Deal or no deal? Vice President J.D. Vance heading to Pakistan to lead high-stakes peace negotiations with Iran. But what he calls a fragile ceasefire deal is showing visible cracks. Welcome to the Big Money Show. I'm Dagan McDowell, along with my co-hosts Taylor Riggs, Gary Kaltbaum, Jackie DeAngelis, and with us for this hour, Rosecliff founder and managing partner Mike Murphy. President Trump says he is optimistic a peace deal with Iran will be reached, calling it, quote, the world's most powerful reset. But the Iranian regime is playing games, tolls at the Strait of Hormuz, slowing traffic flow.
Yeah, by the way, if they continue to put tolls on the Strait of Hormuz, I think the deal should be done. Iran should have no ability to charge a toll. And if Iran tries to charge a toll, I say bomb them. Bomb that government, dude.
On Saudi Arabia.
Get rid of the Iranian military completely.
Infrastructure, that east-west pipeline, that could certainly...
I think Trump needs to threaten them if they even try to charge $1, even one measly dollar as a toll, it's game over. The ceasefire's done. U.S. blasts them to living hell.
Complicate talks, to say the least. Meanwhile, do we have a NATO mea culpa?
When it came time to provide the logistical and other support the United States needed in Iran, some allies were a bit slow, to say the least. In fairness, they were also a bit surprised. But what I see when I look across Europe today is allies providing a massive amount of support. Allies are doing everything the United States is asking.
After they...
Are they, though? Are they?
Were nowhere to be found when the bombs started dropping, the Euros scrambling to catch up, insisting the United States allies are now providing military support. I would say better late than never, but the damage already done. Gary Kaltbaum, looking at these markets today and going into this weekend, at least if you look at the Strait of Hormuz, this looks like a ceasefire con. The ships are not going through in the pre-war numbers. They're trickling through at a bare minimum. That says they're not living up to the ceasefire deal. Why go in the first place to Islamabad?
All I can
Yeah, I think they just need to stop trying to make a deal happen. It's clear that you can't negotiate. It's clear that you can't negotiate in good faith with these people. Iran's not worth it, dude. Iran's not worth it. I just say, you know what? Just attack Iran. Just attack them.
There's so many moving parts at this point in time. Every hour on the hour, I'm checking for what happened next.
And I'm not the type of guy that wants to advocate for war. I really don't. At the end of the day, I'd like to see this ended more than anybody. But at the same time, it's like you got to be reasonable here and realize that Iran isn't reasonable. You can't negotiate with Iran. It's just tough. There might be a way to do it. I don't know. I mean, you could read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. That might help. But with a country as mentally unstable as Iran, you can't really negotiate with them at all. You just can't. And that's the thing. So that's the way I look at it, but whatever. I'm gonna make a sandwich here. Hold on.
Jeeting Street Poop says. Hi Garza, I'm a new sub. Jeeting Street Poop says. Can I get a shout out?
Hey, thank you, Jeet. McStreet Poop, I appreciate you. Everybody give a shout out. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We're putting you on screen real quick. It's okay, man. It's okay to be a simp. Just remember, if you want to be a simp, you got to be a pimp, all right? If you want to be a simp, you got to be a pimp. At least that's what I heard once.
Next, what happened before? Now we have the Lebanon situation going on right now, where the president, or J.D. Vance, is talking to Bibi about that. So where it ends up, I don't know, but you are correct. All the talking about a real ceasefire, I do not think we're there yet. The good news...
Hell yeah.
Cobertate 42069 says. Hi from Israel, thank you for helping us defeating terror.
Hey, don't thank me. Thank Trump and the U.S. military, man. Don't thank me. Thank Trump and the U.S. military, bro. They're kicking butt, dude.
Jeeting Street Poop says. As a loyal Garza simp, it saddens me that Pappy ignores me. Spartan Virus says.
You guys are killing me.
Pimpin' and simpin'.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Is oil prices have dropped some, but I have to tell you, I think we're about as fragile can be. If something does not get done, I think oil can run right back up to 110 and cause problems for the markets again, and who knows where this ends.
It looks like the market has priced in that this war is over. It doesn't escalate and it better not escalate. You've seen a pullback in longer-term interest rates, a little bit, a pullback in oil, although it's at $99 a barrel. Stocks are holding up here, although consumer confidence, this is for Taylor, the University of Michigan consumer confidence fell to the lowest on record, 1970s. That's
Wow, dude. So consumer confidence is down.
how far back you got to go. I think it's 1978. You want to get in here?
Yeah, so similar things, but we come with our caveat on UMich. I'm like you, I mention it. Unfortunately, the people who run the University of Michigan survey noted that it was across all demographics and across all.
I doubt it. I doubt it. But we'll see.
Political spectrums, Republicans, Democrats. And so while
I
it
still doubt
can be a little watch what I do, not what I say, and I don't love the way that people can just, this is how I feel, but I'm still going to buy. I didn't like that sort of there was a deterioration that was very broad-based in the way that everyone was feeling, even if it is just feelings and maybe not. But yes, going back to the 70s, you had record low down to 47.6. I think concerning for me, year ahead inflation forecast jumped back up to 4.8%. The employment component deteriorated a little bit, and 54% of consumers spontaneously mentioned that high prices were eroding their finances. That's up from 47 last month and 38% a year ago. So the good news, though, from all of this is, I don't know, maybe this isn't good news. CPI was not good, even though it was expected. And I guess what I was trying to say is...
Here's the thing. I think the war in Iran is actually going to be a good thing for the economy once it's all said and done. Are oil prices going to be higher temporarily? Yes, they are. Oil this month it looks like it's going down. All right, the price of oil per barrel is going down again. So, honestly, to everybody freaking out, I don't think the freak out is justified, if we're going to be honest. Oh, and now we're at 9,726 subscribers, everybody. You know what that means? We're now 274. 274. I can't believe it, man. 274 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subs. If you guys want to help us on our journey to 10,000 subscribers, please do not forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. We're trying to get to that 10K marker as soon as we can. So yeah, please do not forget to tap subscribe, man. It really does help the channel grow.
Cheating Street Poop says, I will send many Indian women to this channel. Cheating Street Poop says, Garza is like Apollo to them.
Oh, man. Oh, man, that's wild.
Jonathan if 77 says,
this is an interesting chat, I see.
No SHT though. Rich are dumping money into precious metals and closing manufacturers and stores. That decreases jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
No jobs, no money.
Well, I mean, I'm lucky. I've been swing trading like crazy. I swing trade small cap indexes, and I swing trade silver. And then I do the Michael Garza show, of course. And then outside of the Michael Garza show, I do a little bit of delivery driving on the side, and who knows when that'll get replaced completely. But the beauty is, I'm lucky that I got all these assets. I'm very lucky, but I've also worked hard. I've also worked smart, and I've worked hard. So I say that hard and smart work combined, I think, create luck and create opportunity. Small Wiener Gang. Holy shit, we're now at 200. We're now 273 subscribers away from hitting our goal. 273 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. Hell yeah.
ETRN7CH says, Yo Garza, they're hiring private contractors.
That's pretty pimp, man. I dig it. Anyway, give a shout out to Doug for subscribing. Thank you, Doug. Small Wiener Gang. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The good news is that there is lags in terms of high prices that get passed on to the consumer. WD-40 was one yesterday that said the prices
Dude, WD-40. I love WD-40.
see this for 90 to 100 days. So the good news is what we're seeing today, $100 oil, doesn't mean tomorrow it's going to hit you. It could be 3-6 months from now. That's bad news because that is higher prices. But my good news here is
I love WD-40, by the way. I don't know if they're talking about the actual company WD-40 that makes that shit. That shit's amazing. WD-40 is amazing for rust. So sexy.
if you can spread that out, and we've talked about how
She said spread.
everyone in the supply chain eats that cost, it's very different for me than, let's say, the airlines who see spike in jet fuel and they raise your baggage fee $10 or cut capacity to immediately solve that. Products like WD-40 and everything else, they're trying to spread it out in the supply chain over the next 6 months, maybe to ease the burden somewhat. Plus, you factor in a lot of promotional activity. If you want to get that product out to the consumer, you're going to have to cut prices and do promotion. So I guess that's sort of the good news, bad news where I sit today. None of that is to say we should not be in Iran. If we're trying to change the world, there's a cost, and maybe that cost is higher price. I'm not going to say that that's not worth it, but I'm just saying what the consumer is feeling and what the market is experiencing.
So going into today, Dow and S&P up 3.5% this week. The NASDAQ was up 4.3%.
And with the volatility in the market, man, I've been able to capitalize on the massive volatility. That's how I make money. Swing trading is I'm playing the volatility alone. My goal is to take advantage of temporary downturns and capitalize on the upturns. But holy crap, man. This is wild, man. This is just wild.
Imports, 7% gain. All of that says this is over.
Ooh, I think the market thinks it's over, and I think that you're right. And I use my own 401k as just a way to sort of track what's happening. I'm almost back at the peak levels where I was before this.
Honestly, if you're, here's the thing. People do not salivate red days the way that I do. One of the reasons I'm a great investor, and I'm going to toot my own horn on this, one of the reasons I'm a great swing trader even, is because I'm not afraid to buy when everybody's selling. That is the difference between me and everybody else. I am never afraid of buying when everybody else is selling. The reason that people can't beat the markets is because they're too afraid of downturns. One of the reasons that I continually make money on my small cap index ETF is because I have enough money sitting on the side, I have enough money in it, and enough money out of it. When it dips, I slowly buy into it again because I want to lower down the average cost. I want to take advantage of those swings that happen. When the swings happen, man, that's where the money's made. So I'm just surprised that more people don't take advantage of the swing trading. There's just a lot happening there in a good way. Yeah, I mean, it's a really simple philosophy, but nobody seems to want to abide by it, you know?
Jeep Traveler 2021 says, isn't the fundamental theory is to buy low and sell high, ER?
Yeah, higher, yeah. And that's pretty much it, man. I buy low and I sell high. I mean, that's primarily what I do. It's not a difficult strategy, you know. Not really. Jeep Traveler.
Jeep
not
Traveler
really.
2021 says.
Not necessarily.
You just have to be on top of things in real time to swing trade.
No, not necessarily. I only check the markets typically. Like, it depends on how, if the markets are continually going up in a day, I'm going to continue to check the markets and keep selling as it goes up. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why
Jeep Traveler 2021 says people freak out and sell out when it starts dipping.
Because you have to have a certain psychology. You have to be able to handle downturns. If you can't handle the market prices going down, then you shouldn't be investing. Or if you, I take that back. You should learn how to, you should change your mindset first, and then you should start investing. Because if you can't handle volatility, you will never be a good investor. You will always panic, and you will always sell at a loss because you are too busy panicking and not being thoughtful about it. That's the thing.
ETRN7CH says, I like to buy high and sell low Bitcoin.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Of course you do. Of course you do, ET. But no, this is one of the reasons why I keep a lot of cash in my brokerage account. Because keeping a lot of cash in my brokerage account allows me to get in when downturns happen, but it allows me to, have the leverage. It gives me all the leverage in the world. When you have a lot of money sitting in your brokerage account, man, it gives you tons and tons and tons of leverage. So you could really build things up quite a bit.
War started. Now, Jack Keane has an article. It's an editorial piece in the New York Post today that I really like. He talks about how this wasn't necessarily the best move for the United States to have the ceasefire right now, but ultimately he thinks Trump will do what's necessary.
I mean, I like the ceasefire in the sense that I could sell off some of my shares of my index ETFs that I got into at a profit because I bought them when the markets were going down. I even bought a lot of silver when the markets were really down. And what happened was, boom, it all went back up. And when everything went back up, I profited very heavily. I will tell you, I made bank, dude. I made fucking bank. And that's why I love the volatility of small cap ETFs and I love the volatility of silver ETFs because of the volatility of the underlying assets. I love it. I eat up the volatility. I eat it up, bro. I love volatility. That's the thing. If you're going to be a successful swing trader, you have to love the game. You have to love the volatility.
Cheating Street Poop says, may I have permission to goon to this stream? Your approval makes it more fun.
No. You do not have my approval, but then again, you're a grown man, or woman, or whatever the hell you are. Or they, them. You're a grown they, them, so feel free to goon in any way you see fit. If you want to goon, goon. If you want to goon, you can goon.
Jeep Traveler 2021 says, gotcha, the volatility is such that I would be uncomfortable not monitoring closely for this type of trading. Get your points though, glad you are doing well with this. No Bitcoin here though.
Yeah, so Bitcoin lacks intrinsic value, that's the problem. So here's the thing. When it comes to swing trading, I buy low. I buy at lower prices. And I keep an eye. Don't get me wrong. This is why I keep this thing in my pocket. Because the reason I keep my phone in my pocket is because wherever I go, obviously, is so I could periodically check the markets and see if there's a buying opportunity or a selling opportunity. It just depends on what the market is doing that day. I never try to. Here's the thing. This is the one thing I tell everybody. Stop trying to predict where the market is going to go. You are not You are not Miss Cleo. You are not Nostradamus. You are not Giorgio Tacantis from Ancient Aliens or whatever the fuck his last name is. Turkalakithis. You're not David Childress. You're not Eric Von Doniken. I was just asking the questions. Look, you're none of these guys. You are not a clairvoyant. All right. And because you're not a clairvoyant, don't try to predict where the markets are going to go. It's a foolish attempt, man. It's foolish. Predicting where the markets are going to go is probably the most foolish game that anybody could play. And I mean that. But don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream. Also, make sure that you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow, and let's go.
To see this through as he has promised the American people. There is a little paragraph in here, though, where General Keane talks about what the White House was hoping to achieve, Dagan, through the ceasefire. And he says the White House hopes to ease gas prices further and boost the stock market, while Iran is trampling on international law to do so. Under the customary law of the sea, the Strait of Hormuz is an international passage that must remain free to all. Now, speaking of that strait, we talked about this toll idea. Are they charging vessels tolls to be able to move through?
If they are, by the way, I say, look, if Iran is charging a toll, I say, you know what? Just blow up their military. Do what you got to do, bro. Do what you got to do at that point. That's the way I see it.
Spartan Virus says, skipping lunches just to throw a 5ER in my wallet.
Yeah. You got a goon, man.
Jeeting Street Poop says, our Zim/Zer people welcome here.
Our Zim/Zer people, everybody's welcome on the Michael Garza show except for Billy. Billy betrayed my friendship by constantly personally attacking me and for personal choices that I make in my life, and I was done with it. I was tired of being personally attacked for the things that I believe because I never personally attacked him, and it was unfair. So I decided to cut all ties with him. I'm done with him completely. I decided to rip the Band-Aid off. I was like, I'd forgiven him far too many times for me to keep doing the same thing. I didn't want to do it. But yeah, no, I don't want to be, I don't want him in my life anymore. Period, end of story.
The president had a truth last night where he said there are reports that Iran is charging fees to tankers going through the Hormuz Strait. They better not be. And if they are, they better stop now, President Donald J. Trump. There's a lot that's unclear to us. I think to the players that are involved, because a lot of information isn't necessarily flowing out of that region. And then, of course, you've got these talks that are going to start to take place. Keane goes on to describe what the regime wants out of this. They want to drag it on as long as humanly possible. That is to their benefit. They want to hold on control to of the strait, to have some dominance, to show the neighbors in the region, look, you know, yes, things have been heavily devastated here, but somehow we are still in charge. Trump also just told the New York Post, let me read this and then I'll finish, but he just told the Post that, I'll summarize, the military is at the ready to go if these talks don't go as planned. So I think back to Liberation Day and tariffs, and Dagan, as you and Taylor pointed out, when that 10-year yield started getting to a place that was really uncomfortable for the market, and all of a sudden that sheet of initial reciprocal tariffs was thrown out the window and a new strategy was adopted. I think that's the kind.
Do you guys think I should swing trade the USO? Do you guys think it would actually be a good idea for me to swing trade the USO? It's like the United States Oil Fund or something like that. I think I might. I'm considering it, but nah, just kidding. I do like owning oil companies though, like Chevron or ExxonMobil. I like owning those ones. But outside of it though, man, I'm like, 76 is Phillips 66 is pretty sexy too.
Thing that's happening here, and if the market thinks, well, this is over, then I think the market is wrong.
That was one thing, and Mike, you can take this wherever you want, and I saved the best for last here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just all kinds of flat.
By the way, we are 272 subscribers away from hitting 10K. Can you guys believe it, man? I can't believe it. We're 272 subs away from hitting 10K. I'm honestly in a little bit of shock at the moment. I'm happy. I'm happy about it, but I can't believe it. Almost to 10K.
Flattery on a Friday. I asked David Bellavia, the Medal of Honor recipient, yesterday about that, given the troop levels that we have in the region, 50,000 U.S. troops across all branches, 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, the Abraham Lincoln, and then the Bush is switching out with the Ford, 20 warships, more than a dozen air squadrons. And he made a really interesting point, being a warfighter himself. He said, I think the only reason why we're here is because of what happened 48 hours before the ceasefire, that it was the B-52s opening up on Carr Island and got really close to the oil. But we can do whatever we want. And it was this piece of what he said. That war machine, you've given them 3 days where they're rested. They've got brand new socks, they've got warm chow, and they're ready to go. And so what's so surprising, the first day of the strikes, it was air fire. But unlike the first 31 days, when this thing started over a month ago, you don't have any of the defenses, Iran, that they had to begin with. With the second punch, Iran can't survive that because we have all at once. It's not just air power. It is land, sea.
Oh, shit. Breaking news. Breaking news. Hold on.
We have breaking news
This
right
is
now.
very
President
breaking. So breaking. Trump says U.S. warships are being reloaded to resume the strikes. Holy crap. Let's
Trump
take a
has
listen.
just given an interview to the New York Post, and here's exactly what he says in part of that interview. We are loading up the ships with the best ammunition, the best weapons ever made, even better than what we did previously, and we blew the
Dude, Iran is so cooked right now. I mean, Iran is cooked. And here's the thing. They're trying to charge a toll at the Strait. They have no right to. It's international water. Strait of Hormuz should be freely allowed.
them apart.
I am so sick of Iran. I hope Iran's government gets blown to smithereens.
Now, all of this is activity remains constrained in that critical oil ship flow and waterway. The ships are waiting to get in. We've only seen maybe 3 of them with oil in them. Other ships have made it through up to about 11 or 12. But usually we see between 120 and 150 going through the Strait of Hormuz. Countries are perched to see what will happen next. And you heard from President Trump. He's more than perched. He didn't pull anybody out of that region. This is a ceasefire in the war. This is not a complete deal. We know that J.D. Vance.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, once the ceasefire is done and over with, you know what the U.S. is going to be doing? Bang to their military. Bang. I mean, they already destroyed their Navy. The military is pretty much decimated. This is wild, bro. This is wild.
Our vice president is on his way to Islamabad, Pakistan, to go meet with those who will sit at the table.
ETRN7CH says.
Oh, God. Damn it,
Garza,
ET.
you can do it.
Come on, ET.
ETRN7CH says. G.I. Garza.
Oh, man. Thank you, ET. I appreciate it. If you guys can, though, become channel members or gift memberships, whatever you guys want to do.
And make a deal happen potentially. But President Trump is issuing that stern warning to the regime at this point. Here's also what he has put up on Truth Social. In part, there are reports that Iran is charging fees to tankers going through the Hormuz Strait. They better not be, and if they are, they better stop now.
Yeah, no, honestly, here's the thing. If they're charging a toll on the Strait, end the ceasefire talks and then bomb the crap out of Iran. If Iran's not playing ball. If they are openly defying the rules, by the way, Iran has no cards to deal with. They have no leverage for negotiation. Either it's the U.S. It's the U.S.'s way or the highway. And here's the thing. Donald Trump said he's not afraid to demolish the bridges. He's not afraid to demolish their energy plants. Iran knows that they're cooked. Iran knows they're cooked if the U.S. does this. So they better be willing to play ball. And honestly, a lot of Trump's demands are not that crazy. They're not even that crazy, if we're going to be honest. So, I don't know. By the way, we're at 9,728 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,728 subs. We're only 272 subscribers away from hitting 10K. By the way, if anybody is siding with the Iranian government on this one. I think you need to figure out your allegiances. Are you in allegiance with the Iranian government, who has been the #1 state sponsor of terror for a long time, who is enriching uranium to near weapons grade levels? And also, by the way, don't forget that they publicly execute protesters for protesting the regime. And they do other things like throw gay people off of buildings. Iran's terrible. Iran's government's terrible. So if you are siding with the Iran government in this instance, and you live in America, I mean, I hope you're ashamed of yourself, because you're a fucking idiot. Look, Iran's government had this coming. They've been terrible for years. And honestly, I'm not going to say this is going to bring about peace in the Middle East, but you know what this is going to do? It's going to make shit happen, man.
ETRN7CH says, well, we've all done that once or twice.
I love it, man. Thank you, ET. I appreciate you, Brony.
Exclamation point. However, Iran's supreme leader is pushing back. Well, you know, the son, Muqtada, who nobody's actually ever verified if he's alive and if he's moving around and all that, since his relatives were all killed, including his Ayatollah father. But anyway, he's quoted to have said,
yeah, I don't think the son of the Ayatollah is still alive, man. I just don't think he is.
we are entering a new era with the management of the Strait of Hormuz. We did not and do not seek war, but we will not give up our rightful rights in any way, and for this we consider all the fronts of resistance.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you don't deserve a military, bro. Iran's been too shitty of a country for too long, doing too many terrible things. And that's the point. That's the problem. You guys do not deserve to have nuclear. You guys don't even deserve to have uranium. Not even an ounce. You guys deserve no uranium. Period. End of story. You guys were getting it to the point of weapons grade. You guys are terrible. You guys suck. Deal with it. Awful.
As one. I wonder what he means by that. All the fronts. He's hitting his neighbors, so he doesn't have any friends. Meanwhile, Vice President Vance is expressing optimism ahead of tomorrow's talks.
Looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see as the President of the United States.
I just have my doubts, dude. I just have my doubts. I just don't think it's going to end up well. And I'm filled with doubts on this one, man. I don't doubt JD. I don't doubt JD Vance's ability to negotiate. I think he's an expert speaker, hot dude, hot man. I think he's a great dude. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to be able to convince these crazy negotiators of anything. I think they're going to try to bully him. And you know what JD Vance is going to do? He's just going to say, you know what, we're just going to bomb your country. Because if the Iranian negotiators make this too difficult and too ridiculous, U.S. has the ability to bomb the living hell out of Iran, and they should. All the negotiators have to do is play ball. I think the U.S.'s demands are very reasonable. No enrichment of uranium. Open the Strait of Hormuz. If you do not comply to these demands, you're getting bombed. It's that fucking simple, dude. That simple.
States said if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The president has gave us some pretty clear guidelines, and we're going to see.
Joy Jones, warrior on the couch here. The nature of this war is that we're in a 3-day-old ceasefire that doesn't look very ceasefire-y on the Iran side.
No, and this probably was expected. I think this more than anything, there's a thing called tyranny of distance when it comes to planning war. And so the further you are away from your resupply, your beans and bullets and all of that, the harder a sustained effort is. And then you start this war, you're ahead of schedule, and then you realize, okay, all these contingencies.
Oh, shit, we're at 9,729 subs, everybody. 9,729 subscribers. You know what that means? That means we're only 271 subs away from hitting 10K. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being part of this. Thank you guys for taking the time to subscribe, though. I really do. Hey, we got Tiny Line Gaming, bro.
We're gonna get the new Supreme Leader too when he pops out of his cave. Tina Lion Gaming says, can't hide forever Supreme Pizza Leader. And 0x.x says, the Defense Intelligence Agency literally said they're years upon years away from even coming close to have nuclear armaments.
That's good. That's good.
Ojorgi Eporgi 7862 says, who the fuck's you to tell anyone anything?
I have the power, dude. I am the asshola Ayatollah. I've got the power. I've got delusions of power. Just like Iran. Iran and I both have one thing in common. Iran's government and I have both one thing in common. We both have delusions that we actually are powerful. We're both deluded enough to think that we're powerful. And that's the truth. But yeah, Iran's cooked is what I'm trying to say. Iran is totally fucked. The Iranian government is terrible. And honestly, the Iranian government had this coming. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button, though. Once again, double tap the subscribe button. No, sorry. Hold on. Tap the subscribe button one time to subscribe to the channel. My bad. But yeah, if you guys can, subscribe to the channel. It does help the channel grow. Double tap the screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. So please double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go.
For resupply, stopping the fuel, those are falling apart because of European countries afraid to be involved. Okay, now we need to reorient our compass and plan for this. I think it was the Ford we've lost already. So some of these assets that were there in the buildup are leaving. New troops are coming in. I don't think we've seen the end of the bomb.
Dude, if you think Iran is winning this, you're a moron. You're really a moron if you think Iran's winning this. They're not.
Bombing campaign. Hopefully we've seen the end of what we call war. We've seen the end of our folks being in tremendous amount of harm's way. But at the end of the day, I mean, go back as far as you want. It's much easier to defend territory than it is to take it. It's much easier to Vietnam, Afghanistan, just in our lifetime. It's just much easier. It's much harder to eliminate threats in Iran than it would be if Iran were trying to attack somewhere else. When you have the defensive position, you don't.
Here's how JD Vance needs to start the negotiations. If you guys do not comply with what we're laying down, we're bombing your country. That's all JD Vance needs to say. And then he needs to make that very clear. If you guys defy any of the orders that we have, country's bombed. Why not? Iran sucks, dude. Iran's a terrible fucking country. Number one state sponsor of terror. Don't fucking forget that. Don't ever forget that.
Have to expend all your ammo. You don't have to have more people. And so people talk about, they shot down one of our planes. I thought that we had air superiority. Well, we do because they're not flying planes. They're not bombing us. What we don't have is the ability to not know that they can do what the Mujahideen did to the Russians. They took.
Spartan Virus says, agree to disagree, brother. We'll all soon find out the truth, though. One way or another.
We will see, man. We will see. We'll see what it ends up being, man.
Took cheap shoulder-fired rockets and took enough MiGs and helicopters down that the Russians said, hey, this costs more money than we want to spend on it. We're going to back on out of here.
That is such a great example, too. And just think of how much kinetic activity had happened in Afghanistan, for instance, before we even got involved, right? And they had faced so much, and still we couldn't do it.
And I think what we're seeing right now is that you can't just military your way to a victory. And we've seen over the last 40 years, you can't just diplomacy your way to a victory. It's up to President Trump and his team to learn how to use those two levers together to get to what they consider a victory. And as was outlined a week into the war, the victory was supposed to be, the goals were destroy their Navy, destroy their Air Force, destroy their ability to produce and fire missiles, and take away their ability to go nuclear. So as far as I'm concerned, those are still the four elements of victory. The Strait of Hormuz is not in there.
No, but it's become something that, Rebecca, obviously Iran knows it can use that leverage because why?
Right.
Why? Because they're right there. Actually, the waterway doesn't belong to them. It's along their country.
No, it's international. It belongs to all of us and belongs to nobody specifically. And so it's intolerable for the United States' perspective that Iran is going to claim that it can control the Strait of Hormuz. And
yeah, it shouldn't. Exactly. She makes a good point. Iran just has no cards left. The only card they have is to try to control the strait. but technically nobody has real jurisdiction of the Strait of Hormuz. It's international waters. It's everybody. Everybody's got to cooperate. And Iran being a piece of shit, I think the Middle East, I think all the surrounding countries that are the countries that are surrounding Iran, I think are going to bomb the living hell out of the Iranian government. That's what I think is going to happen. I think a lot of these countries in the Middle East are tired of Iran's shit. I think everybody's tired of Iran. I think everybody's tired of Iran's bullshit is what it really boils down to.
Remember, if Iran is controlling the Strait of Hormuz, that means China is, because China is the biggest backer and gets 90% of Iranian oil goes to China. The other thing I think it's really important, what Joey said is, I think all of this negotiation right now, Vice President Vance going to Pakistan, all he really needs to consider this a success, I think, is to get them to say they're not going to fire into the strait. That's the immediate problem. And I think we're going to then see an international force there escort some oil through
NATO
the
will
strait.
get involved?
I think they're going to see I think the Europeans are willing to do it if there's not open hostilities. And so they need to have the confidence that they can do that. And maybe if it's just temporary, get some oil through there. But we're still going to have all these other problems with this rump regime that exists. And then I think Epic Fury resumes in a few weeks, even if we do get some successful, safe travel through the strait.
Yeah, I think the rest of Epic Fury just needs to happen now. I think what's going to happen is I really do think that I think that these negotiations, they're just not going to work, man. They're just not going to work. Like I said, I have zero faith. I have plenty of faith in JD Vance as a negotiator. I have no faith in the Iranians to play ball with us. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, crazy shit though, man. Let's keep going.
I don't understand, Kaylee, how Europe can sit by and not let us use the airspace and the things that our U.S. military.
Yeah, I thought there was negotiations. I thought that's what the whole NATO agreement was about, that if we needed to use their airspace, we could. That our military could, and that's why we have the bases set up there. Well, isn't that the point? Like, you might as well rip up the NATO agreement, dude. Just rip it up, dude. Rip up NATO. Maybe it's not a good idea, but maybe I'm being a little rash. What's the term? Rash? Or brash? Brash. I'm being too brash. BRB, I gotta take a piss. Hold on. Every ounce of my effort goes into this. Small Wiener Gang. Hell yeah. Do you guys want to join the Small Wiener Gang at all? Who here wants to join the Small Wiener Gang? Are you guys willing and ready? But yeah, thank you guys for double tapping the screen to like the stream, though it does help the channel grow. Give me just a few more moments, though. Hell yeah. I am willing. Larson Christopher, my boy, dude.
Larson Christopher says, options, and NATO, or change it that all nations can't block any members to use ports and airport etc., or stop all U.S. financial support and military support and require a member vote for any conflict.
Huh. Yeah, honestly, it's not a bad call, not a bad idea. Should we exit NATO? I don't know. Should we be like, to hell with it? Fuck it? Okay, so vacation time is saying, hold on, let's take a listen.
Vacation time 247 says, is that one of those element type heaters behind you?
I think so.
Those things suck. Get a radiant electric heater.
I don't know,
It's
man.
better and cheaper to run too.
Honestly, my electric bill's pretty low a lot of the time, and it does a really good job of distributing heat around the house, so I don't know about that, man. I actually like this. I like my little space heater, though. It's done a very good job for me. It's my electric bill's not very high, but in fact, if anything, per month it's pretty low most of the time. But I do want to thank you guys for taking the time to subscribe to the channel, man. We're now at 9,729 subs. Once again, we're now at 9,729 subscribers. So I really greatly appreciate everybody's support. And we're now at 9,730. We did it. We're not done yet, of course, but we're 270 subscribers away, 270 subs away from reaching 10,000 subscribers. I repeat, we're 270 away from reaching 10K. 10K, everybody. We're doing it, man. 9,730 subs. I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Again, I want to thank you guys for just being so incredibly supportive, man. I appreciate it.
Should we have to re-engage and just protect the strait so that ships can go through? I mean, but they want to benefit from that protection in the strait. So they might take a part via NATO, and Ruta was just here, and so maybe those conversations are happening, the Secretary General of NATO. But they don't want to support what got us to the point where we could keep them from developing nukes.
It's absolutely absurd, and that's why cameras weren't allowed in that room. Rutte and Trump do get along. Typically, there are cameras there, and we see this relationship, but we didn't see it because a hard conversation took place. And I've been in the room with President Trump as he's met with foreign countries and had those hard conversations, and believe me, they look very differently behind the scenes than they look like in front of the cameras, and that's where he gets his leverage.
Get a kilowatt meter?
Larson Christopher says, get a kilowatt meter and find out.
That's not a bad idea, man. That's not a bad idea, dude. No, I should probably get a... hold on, let's take a look at...
Larson Christopher says, should NATO only exist to prevent Russian attacks, yet ignore other threats?
Yeah, I don't know. Not too sure about that.
leverage. International diplomacy is messy. It's not going to be a clean process. There's a back and forth that takes place, and an added element when you're dealing with a terrorist regime like Iran that cannot be trusted. But I will say this, the negotiators in the room, I've been there with Jared Kushner. He knows what he's doing. He's whip smart. Steve Witkoff, they are responsible for the hostages being released, the Gaza ceasefire. J.D. Vance is a key voice in this. And ultimately, President Trump, the closer who has solved 8 conflicts. This is a hard problem to solve. It has bedeviled every president over the last 47 years. But I like the odds with this president.
Well, and
I say that I don't know. I don't even think President Trump can do anything about this, man. I really don't. I just don't. Hold on. Give me one moment. But yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to view this. Let's react to the rest of the video, though, real quick. The fuck is Chris Law? Oh, we got a bunch of leftists in the chat. Everybody, we better be on our best behavior. All the leftists are in the chat.
like Joey said, they're using the 2 levers. They've got the
Nah, screw the leftists. The leftists suck ass.
Diplomacy, and you know we will use our might. So, Emily, one more point about all this is Israel and its continued battle with Lebanon's terrorist army that sits there. And now the Lebanese want to talk about dismantling that army. I don't know if they can, but that's a sticking point. Iran says Hezbollah has to be able to do what it needs to do against Israel. So that's a war, I guess, that just continues.
Well, I think that underscores that different sovereign entities have different mission objectives, and they have different purposes that they're seeking. If I can just ask you a follow-up real quick. For those that are saying, who are we even negotiating with in Iran or in the Islamic Republic? And secondly, how does that impact all of the proxies that were the source of so much?
I still don't know, man. I still don't think I don't think Iran has any true leadership at this point. I think that no matter who we're negotiating with, it's all going to be smoke and mirrors. It's all going to be smoke and mirrors at the end of the day. There's going to be no I don't want to be pessimistic on this, but I kind of have to. Iran is not worth negotiating with. Straight up, Iran is not worth negotiating with. Period.
Much death and destruction. Is it our Gulf allies that we can rely upon to help manage?
Well, I think that this is a great question, Emily. And one of the things that the U.S. destroyed is command and control. It's the ability of the leaders to be able to communicate to the people in the field. And so that is a problem. And President Trump has said as much. But we do need to get whoever is going to be talking to J.D. Vance needs to say, we are going to call.
First off, if they're going to be talking to J.D. Vance, they got to talk about how hot he is. Just saying. Also, if you guys can, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. So the more subscribers we get, the better. We're currently sitting at 9,730 subscribers. Once again, we're at 9,730 subs. We are only 270 subscribers away. 270 subs away from hitting the 10K barrier. We're almost there, you guys. I can almost taste it. Oh, yeah. I could taste it. Oh, we're almost to 10K, baby. 9,730 subs. Let's go, dude. Please tap the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow.
Off attacks. There will be no attacks in the Strait of Hormuz. But it is a rump regime. We've taken out over 1,000 IRGC and besieged leaders. So we really have taken out the top leadership in the regime. It's really just a rump regime flailing at this point.
Well, look, last hour we heard with a statement directly from the White House during the Faulkner Focus who would be sitting at the table on our side, Witkoff, Kushner, and Vice President Vance. We still, is your point, we don't know who's on the other side of the table. This is breaking just now from the President of the United States on Truth Social. Quote, the Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards. other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. The only reason they are alive today is to negotiate. Quick response to that, Kaylee.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. That's all they got. Iran holds no cards in this scenario. And here's the thing, like I keep mentioning, and people need to stop forgetting this. People got to stop acting like the Iranian government's the victim here. Number one state sponsor of terror for years, have killed their own citizens for protesting their government. This is not a good country. They throw gay people off buildings. They do terrible things. Like this is the problem that I have with the government of Iran. It is totalitarian, authoritarian, you name it, whatever label you want to put on it. It's evil. And the Iranian government is evil, and it needs to be taken down ASAP. It's got to be taken down ASAP. That's all there is to it. And you guys could disagree with me all you want, do what you want, but you know I'm right.
Yeah, he's clearly showing that he is willing to use hard power. And that is what makes this president different. You look at Joe Biden before him, soft power. What Iran saw was
oh, dude, Joe Biden, everybody knew they could take advantage of Joe Biden.
an unfortunate withdrawal.
Every country knew that they could take advantage of Joe Biden. That's why all those other third world countries and all the countries out there wanted Joe Biden to be the president, because Joe Biden was easy to control. He was too agreeable. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is disagreeable. This is a huge advantage. You don't want a guy that, look at, in leadership, you don't want a guy that'll let other countries walk all over him. It's that stupid. It's that stupid. You know, is that crazy? Is that true? I don't know.
From Afghanistan that was disastrous. What they see when they look at this president is someone who's saying hard power is not.
When we had Joe Biden as the president, we were seen as weak. And other countries were taking advantage of that weakness. Russia started the war with Ukraine, all because they knew that Biden wasn't going to do anything.
Not off the table here. I'm willing to use it, and I'm using it for leverage now.
And as you pointed out, we're reinforcing that by pulling out what we need and putting back what we need. So, yeah, we haven't left.
Yeah, I don't see anything saying that we're not going to continue Epic Fury.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host, Harry.
And Jim Trusty, a former DOJ prosecutor, joins us now.
Okay, let's see here. Give me just a few moments. Oh shit! We got Nick Shirley uploaded a video about an hour ago.
It could be $250 to $500 billion, so roughly 10% of the total federal budget.
He's going, dude. Nick Shirley's going after the fraud, bro. My boy is going right after the fraud, right where it hurts.
Fair to say that for the past 4 years, we were getting looted from fraudsters.
That's 100% accurate. If you're receiving public assistance, how do you have a Mercedes? How do you have a BMW? So
yeah, that's insane. Yeah, if you're getting that much level of public assistance, you shouldn't be owning those things, period. End of story.
We will track that down.
Today, we're here at the Treasury of the United States. It's essentially...
I mean, unless you have another source of income or something. I don't know.
The Bank of America, as over $6 trillion, essentially leaves this building each and every single year. Right now, with the fraud that's taking place here in the United States, they came up with a new fraud task force, and the Treasury is doing stuff different that they haven't done before to make sure that fraud is not taking place. Today, we're going to be interviewing with the Secretary himself, Scott Bessent, and this will be super important for you guys to understand what's taking place here inside our country to prevent fraud from taking place. And right now, on the website, antifraudclub.com, we just released brand new hoodies right here asking, where did our tax dollars go? They actually kind of go inside this building. But now you can become an anti-fraud taxpayer club member. Just go to anti-fraud.
Yeah, dude, antifraudclub.com. Dude, that's sick as fuck, dude. I love it. Dude, Nick Shirley, dude. Hey, man, as long as he's able to monetize this, I think it's a good thing. He should be making gobs of money. He's honestly saving the taxpayer tons of money by exposing all the fraud in California, exposing all the fraud in Minnesota. No, I think it's great. I love what Nick Shirley's doing, dude. Big dick Nick, bro.
Club.com, and you can go ahead, purchase a hoodie, And you can also sign up to get exclusive emails each and every single week as we report on the fraud that's taking place here.
I'm the man, dude. I'm the man.
W03 says, Shirley is a moron. My God, this live stream is full of fools, including the host.
I'm the man, dude. I'm the man.
Spartan Virus says, my voting record, 08 Ron Paul, write in. 2012, abstained. 2016 naive Trump. 2020 Trump. 2024 Trump. But he flipped on us in August, a Speen Files bold-faced denial, and now in Operation Epic Failure.
Oh, no.
Vacation Time
Epic
247
been
says,
a pure success, dude.
well, the poors don't really make good financial decisions.
It's kind of true.
Here inside of our country. Now let's get into the interview. You're over essentially the Bank of America here. You control the money and over the Treasury. Now with what you guys are doing with fraud, how are you guys going to be going about to tackle the fraud? And you guys just released a new whistleblower program as well.
Great. Nick, good to have you here. And 20% of the GDP of the U.S. comes through Washington, D.C. every year. And we believe that between 250, 500 billion is lost to waste, fraud, and abuse. And we think that the best way to stop that from happening is to keep it from getting out. Because once you try to call it back, that's very difficult.
Yeah.
So what we are doing, Treasury is leading an all-hands-on-deck effort. The Vice President has been tasked with the Fraud Commission. At Treasury, our lead effort is to integrate all the agencies and figure out where the money is going. We're setting up a do-not-pay system, which over time will allow us to follow the money. We will be able to follow whether it's HHS or HUD or anywhere else. Where is money going to? How do we find it? Are there unusual payments? Here at Treasury, we collect something that the banks give us called suspicious activity reports, SARS. So can we overlay the suspicious activity reports on top of these unusual payments, which we've been able to do in Minneapolis?
And prior to this, what was the government doing to make sure that money wasn't going to fraudsters?
Nick, unfortunately, it was the opposite. Under the Biden administration, to get money out during COVID, they took down all the guardrails and they never put them back.
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy said at the inaugural day of the anti-fraud task force that the vice president convened, said at HHS they had 60 people charged with preventing fraud. The Biden administration, they have fired all of them. So again, the real thing is to keep the money from going out.
That's crazy.
Out the door to the fraudsters. Very difficult to recover it. But one thing we are trying to do—
Can't let those fraudsters get that money, bro.
It's recoveries. Is anyone wants to go to treasury.gov, we now have a site for whistleblowers. You can—
That is kind of dope, actually, dude. That's pimp.
And make up to 10%, 30% the reward for the money the Treasury recovers. So nothing comes out of the pockets of the American taxpayer. It's if you help us bring money back to taxpayers, we will pay you a bounty in essence. It's kind of—
That's kind of cool, man. So basically, whistleblowers will get a reward. That's really neat, especially if it's found to be true. So in that essence, Nick Shirley deserves like billions of dollars at this point. Nick Shirley deserves to get paid billions in dollars for all the fraud he's exposed. I love Nick, dude. Nick's the man.
Kind of like when we started having all the problems.
Yes, I call him Big Dick Nick because he's the man.
With suitcases at airports, on trains, on buses. If you see something, say something. So what we're asking American citizens to do now is, if you see something unusual, say something, and we can reward you for it.
Is it fair to say that for the past
laugh out loud
4 years we were getting looted from fraudsters, as there wasn't—
Randy Fine has misappropriated 200 tons of food that was formerly marked for U.S. aid.
Oh, Chris Law, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Let me put that up on the board real quick. So yeah, thank you for that super chat, man. So basically, let me reread it. Let me hear it again real quick.
Laugh out loud. Based on suspicion alone, I believe Randy Fine has misappropriated 200 tons of food that was formerly marked for U.S. aid.
Got ya. Okay. So let me see here. So you're saying that that the money was laundered? Is that you're thinking that the money's laundered based on that statement? Am I correct in that assumption? I mean, that's an interesting assumption, man. Especially if all that food was misappropriated. 200 tons of food was misappropriated? March for USA, that's crazy, dude. Holy shit. No, I love the fact that fraud is being exposed on a massive scale in a lot of these like programs and stuff like that. I think it's good. Honestly, I often wonder where do my tax dollars go? Like, what the hell? I mean, what the hell is everybody paying for? And all these years, it's been laundered. It feels like it's been laundered. A lot of people don't even want to pay their taxes anymore, and I can't say I blame them. Obviously, I'm not going to encourage. I encourage people to pay their taxes. I want to encourage it because you don't want to get in trouble with the IRS. The IRS are a bunch of bullies. So you want to make sure that you pay your taxes because the IRS legitimately is a mafia organization, in my opinion. Allegedly. I mean, not going to lie. IRS sucks.
Really, any guardrails?
Once again, IRS blows.
To stop the fraud?
That's 100% accurate. The American people are the most generous in the world, but American society, all societies and communities are based on trust. And if you lose trust at the very basic levels, if the citizens don't trust each other, then you can't have a community. So we're trying to...
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We're going to react to a few videos later. We're already reacting to this one, but we'll continue where we left off on it. I'm going to do a stream a little bit later. I mean, I've already been streaming for 3 hours and 30 minutes, so I want to thank everybody for the super chats, though. By the way, Chris Law, thank you for that super chat. The $5 super chat was really appreciated. It does help the channel. If anybody wants to send a gift or a super chat, or if you guys want to purchase, I can't even think today. Yikes. But if you guys want to gift memberships randomly to other people, there is the option to gift memberships, and I've been really trying to encourage that. Just because I think it's fun to have more members, and my membership is super cheap. It's 99 cents a month. I don't like to dig into your guys' wallets that much. I really don't. So that's why I prefer to encourage the membership. You get a lot of recognition. I'm more apt to read your chats if you're a member than not a member. So, but I'll still read people. I'll still read non-members' chats and stuff like that. I still do that. Anyway, I do want to thank you guys for taking the time. I'll be streaming a little bit later, and don't forget to keep kicking ass and taking names.